Oh dear, yes.
Welcome, everyone, to the Tall, Friendly Atheist Dad After Party. And, of course, so far in here with us... Okay,
we lost him.
We lost the
main event.
The guest of honor. Now,
disappeared.
Now, he is on his phone, so I wonder if that...
Yeah.
If
Maybe
that
got a phone call.
Oh, he's back. There he is. Let's put him in this...
Right as you said the after party with the Tall Friendly Atheist Dad, I pressed the close button and I'm an idiot.
You can just tell us that you didn't want to be here. Like, that's fine.
Like, really?
I couldn't handle Neil anymore. It's just like, so much Canadian.
I know.
I've
Sorry
been
about
swapped
that.
again. I moved again. I was Celebrity Square Center, but now I've moved.
Oh.
Well, I moved people around because we got the three with no camera in the middle, and then the rest of them surrounding them.
Circle against a square.
Yeah.
I see how the men with cameras are sandwiching at the top, and the ladies with cameras are sandwiching in the middle.
Exactly.
Yep.
Okay.
And now Damien's surrounded by Canadians.
That's right.
I do really love your little name right now. Huskers suck. That was a rough game. That was a really rough game today.
I actually
Which game are we
stopped
referring to
watching
here?
5 minutes
Football.
in because I just felt it wasn't going to go very well. And
It
I
did not go
have a
very
Double
well.
points.
Yeah, it didn't
You
go
can't
very
just
well.
say vaguely football, because you could have Canadian football with the Canadians in here,
No, it's
American
year of
football
college
with
football,
the
the
Americans
only
in
football.
here, or you could have association football, because that's what I immediately think of.
There we go. That's
I have no idea what
It's college
that
football.
means.
The
Yeah,
only sport that matters.
Nebraska football, which this is
Doesn't
this is the third season that Nathaniel and I have been together. I think.
It doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Nebraska volleyball is the only thing that exists.
Who was
Exactly.
it? Who was it that called it association football?
Phoebe did.
No, sorry, wrong. It is soccer.
No, it is association football to distinguish it from rugby football.
It was association football. It is no longer association football anymore.
Says who?
What is it now?
Says the
My
British.
fam-
They call
My
it soccer.
fam call it association football.
The British are the ones that started the term soccer. Therefore, they call it soccer.
You should own it.
But the
Works for me.
International Football Association Board said
Has
has
got it wrong.
defined rules of association football, and it's made up of the Football
Rules.
Association,
They can't
Football
even beat their
Association of Scotland,
colonies in cricket.
Football
What do they
Association of
know?
Wales, and the Football Association of Ireland.
Oh,
It's
boy.
just basically sport, which is
Coins.
a way to distract the masses while the government.
When was the
fucks
last
you.
World Cup you won in any sport, Bucko?
Cricket World Cup.
2 World Wars, 1 World Cup.
Cricket World Cup. T20 Cricket World Cup.
No,
How
no,
many
tennis.
times have you Aussies won the T20 Cricket World Cup?
As long as nobody ever asked me when the last time the Canucks won the Stanley Cup, I'll be happy.
When was that?
Never. They did win it. They did win it as the Vancouver Millionaires.
Ah.
What?
When was that, though? That was what, back in the 40s, 50s? What?
Hey, Lord
Oh,
Brian,
that's a-
welcome to the
Think
chat.
that. A little while back. Neil, I think Nathaniel told you I'm officially just going to be a fan of the Kraken, right?
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
It's the closest team to you, really.
Well, and also it's just an awesome mascot.
It's silly. Like, what
Kraken.
the hell does a Kraken have to do with Seattle? That's what I want to know.
Nothing. They're a
No.
harbor town. Other than that, nothing.
Yeah, that could count.
Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like the sound.
So
It's like the sound.
Maybe
that they
it's
have
just a
right there.
cute way to say that they have a local drug problem.
yeah.
They might. I think they probably actually
No. Kraken, not cracking.
do. Kraken.
Well,
Kraken.
I'm thinking all of their team needs to do a commercial for Kraken rum, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
So
Wonder if
Yeah.
that'll be their official sponsor.
That's good.
I hope so. Then it'll all make sense.
What's the countdown for, Faye?
What?
I'm
got a
not
countdown?
saying.
1, 2. Uh-oh.
This
Are
is
we
how
saying
many,
things and it's like strike one, strike two?
how much
That was the
sports we've
best.
talked.
That was the best show of the dinosaurs when the teenage son realizes, wait a minute, last year it was 65 million years. This year it's 64.9 million years BC.
Yes.
What are we counting down to?
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Damien,
I can
I'd like
see
to
that.
transport you back to the 17th of May in Bridgetown, Barbados.
What year?
2010.
Oh no.
You brought it
Do I-
upon
do-
yourself here. You tried to ridicule the English here, and I'm now going to have to turn the tables on you.
Okay, fine. If you really have to, I will. But I will ask, when was the last Wimbledon you guys won?
Andy
brother.
Murray. Andy Murray.
And how long ago was that?
Well, Andy Murray won the men's singles, and then his brother keeps winning the mixed doubles and the doubles.
Okay, all right. What about the last? What else can I rib you on? Rugby League World Cup. When was the last time you won a World Cup there?
Well, let's put it this way. We were supposed to be competing for it this year, but you Australians were too scared to come to the UK.
Damn.
What? Scared?
Here we
As in, like,
I know.
Pandemic
you're right.
awareness?
You and those Kiwis are the reason my tickets now say 2022 on them and not 2021 on them.
Isn't
the
that
Brits
like
talk a lot of shit for
pandemic
having been conquered
awareness?
by the French.
Wait,
So
what?
say that again.
What was that?
The British talk a lot of shit for having been conquered by the French.
960 years ago, yes.
Do whatever you want. I'm super dead. I'm only quoting Hamilton over here. Don't mind me.
Sorry, 959 years ago.
How awesome is that Prime Minister of yours over there, by the way?
He's great as yours. And he's also as great as the one who came before. And he's also as great as the one who came before. I do enjoy the misogynist one that he had, though. He was wonderful.
All right, we've got a 3 now.
I do love Scott Morrison. He is a wonderful, wonderful human being. Really great man that shut down your country entirely.
I was going to ask, why do you have your opinions on Scott Morrison? Like, as an outsider, what is it that leads you to have that particular opinion of him?
Because I take an unhealthy interest in Australian politics.
Okay, yeah. Well, all interest in Australian politics is unhealthy, but even for us. But no, but what is it that leads you to make just from your perspective, what is it?
My perspective on Scott Morrison is that he was not as bad as what you could have had. I can't remember who he defeated, but he was not as bad as what you could have had.
Bill Shorten.
No, not Bill Shorten. When they had the leadership spill.
Malcolm? Peter Dutton.
Yeah, Malcolm Turnbull, who he defeated.
Yep, and then it was Peter Dutton. He defeated. Yes,
that's for you, Damo. Lord Bryant said to
because
say
Peter Dutton was somebody that I saw as somebody who was, how can I say, he made the country party look sensible, and that's saying something.
That is saying something. It's from my perspective in here is that Scotty is like the nickname he has in Australia is head of marketing.
Yes,
he's very much I like. There was what was it? There was a press conference he was giving about someone winning gold at the Olympics. And he managed to turn it into something like with thanks to the Australian Sport Commission or something for providing X million dollars to something or other. Like he managed to turn it into a political thing, which I don't know. It just really rubbed me the wrong way. And he's sort of like a what's the best way of putting it? He's more
like a shill. He feels like an excess shill.
He's more of a manager rather than a leader.
CEO, not
middle
Prime
management
Minister.
sort of thing.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's sort of like To
Have you-
get to sorry, yeah.
Have you seen the TV drama Rake?
I've heard of it. Haven't seen it. No.
Because he reminds me of one of the people who ends up being prime minister, who's kind of got his way up the greasy, slippery pole, but nobody would ever put this person in as prime minister because he doesn't really have anything behind him. He's just press releases, not substance.
He's not good enough to be selected for, but he's not bad enough to be selected against.
Yeah, as I said, he was the best of the worst choices
Options.
they had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit of a. However, that last election win that last election win he had, he fluked that. Like and I lean towards that side of politics. But even I didn't expect him to win that one. I thought, after the Tony Abbott debacle, and after Malcolm tried his best with a hostile party room. I had no expectation of Scott Morrison winning the prime ministership, but it's happened, and we have to live with it. And I don't think he's that good a prime minister, to be honest.
The best comparison I've got is when John Major became prime minister in Britain and then beat Neil Kinnock in 1992, I think it was.
Holy shit! That's gone back how many decades is that? But yes, I did. I have heard that name before. Was that right after Maggie?
Margaret Thatcher's successor. We called him the grey man of British politics.
The grey what? Sorry, you cut out.
Grey man. He was also known as dishwater.
Yes, yeah, that's.
I don't know if you can see this, Damien, on your phone, but
no. Let me see if I can. We can't count for shit. They suck at it. I gotta tell Damien. Oh boy! And why would he say? Why would he say such a crude thing like that?
Because sometimes the truth hurts.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez.
I thought the British were all about being genteel and drinking their tea.
Good grief! I was call screening on the line earlier. I've done my genteel and politeness with tea.
All right, folks. Let's be.
I've gone. It's like I've gone from Downing Street to Peaky Blinders. Peaky fucking Blinders, eh? By order of the Peaky Blinders.
All I need is a flat cap.
Yeah, exactly. With razor blades
and some soot.
Some soot, or like a whole fucking truckload of it.
I must just go and find the nearest coal mine.
Yeah, and sleep in it, and put it in your tea, and then wipe your ass with it, and I think that'll be enough soot. But I was going to ask, how accurate are the accents in Peaky Blinders? Do you think?
I don't know. Never seen it.
They're not inaccurate.
Aren't a lot of them British?
Authentic. I said they aren't
Sorry?
inaccurate, but they aren't necessarily authentic.
Okay, because I read somewhere that, I binged on it a couple of weeks ago. I've heard a lot about it. A friend of mine gave me his Netflix account, so I went nuts. I finished all 5 seasons in a few days. I thought it was compelling drama, and I read somewhere that they, especially for Inspector Campbell.
Yay.
I read that they toned down his accent for the American market.
Really?
That's what I read. I don't know how accurate that is. Then I've read stuff where someone said that no, the accents are historically authentic. And so, well, okay, it's a little bit But I love Alfie Solomon's. Tom Hardy
down the accent in Canada. That I know.
Okay. But Tom Hardy. I think he's a great actor in general. But yeah, Tom Hardy with his, he's Jewish gang leader.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was pretty darn good.
For
pretty
sure.
darn good.
So
what we were talking about before? Boris. So Boris is a right lad, isn't he?
Are we still
From what
talking?
from what I understand, Boris Johnson is basically like people think he's the unassuming politician. Like that's why he messes up his hair and stuff.
Yeah,
but
he's the
truth is,
village
like
idiot.
he's awful.
The best way that I can describe Boris Johnson is he's the British version of Tony Abbott.
I don't even know who the fuck Tony Abbott is. So
I know who Greg Abbott is.
Tony Abbott was polite.
I know
Captain
Abbott and
Catholic.
Costello.
Well, there you go. Politely put, he was a
Who's
very
on first?
embarrassing Australian prime minister.
okay.
He
Yeah.
was once overheard when talking about Australian servicemen who died in service. He was overheard.
Oh, shit
saying,
happens. Yeah.
Well, shit happens.
Oh my
Yep.
god.
He also said that no man is the suppository of all knowledge.
Yeah.
Suppository.
Oh no,
Oh,
actually, no. The funniest one was where
The onion
just-
thing, wasn't it? Wasn't it the onion?
no,
thing?
not the Onion, not the Onion. He was on a talkback show, and he was discussing budget cuts because this was just after the other party had drained the country of money basically, and apparently a phone chat sex worker called in.
Oh yes. Oh god, I know this story.
Yes, and so like it was on radio, but they had like the video simulcast as well. And so Tony Abbott is on the video, like so when the host says, I have Vivian, we'll say Vivian, who is a sex chat call worker, and
we could
like
role play it we could role play it.
I have to turn my camera on if you really
We
want.
could role play it.
Okay.
There you go. So she goes to him.
You have a face.
How can you justify
He's born with it.
these cuts to Medicare
Appreciate
when
it.
I have to make ends meet by working late at night as a phone sex worker?
I'll be Tony Abbott.
Yeah. He goes and winks at her. He winked at her, for goodness sakes.
Well, he winked at the radio host and then took the call, and it was just
Oh dear.
yeah, it was a bit of a bad look, but no, Tony's biggest mistake was that 2014 budget. I think the idea of repairing the budget was a good thing, but I think what really killed him was the idea of having to. This may sound strange to Americans, but the idea of having to pay to see a doctor.
Coins.
Yeah.
It
would never
Pretty
fly in the UK.
No, well, the thing is that we already have Medicare, and Medicare comes out of our taxes already.
Yes.
So the idea of a co-payment to go see the doctor when we already pay, a percentage of our taxes to fund the Medicare to go see the doctor in the first place,
Coins.
and then
sorry.
Everybody
and
drink.
then better drink, and then from there, I think what they were saying was that was going to fund like a $20 billion research program. And so here we are going, well, hold on, you're cutting here, you're cutting there, you're cutting there, you're cutting there. And we now suddenly have $20 billion to fund a medical research program. Well, fuck
Why
that.
are you cutting here?
Mm. And it was so I think he was the kind of person that is very easy to take outrage against, which is okay, fair enough. But I think he did a lot of things, like the suppository of all knowledge,
The brown onion thing where he
the
was
brown onion, the people,
Me up.
the people from Canada as well. That was
Yeah, the
Canada.
Canadians. The Canadians. And where he,
Canadians.
but the best thing was when I think it was the ABC did an interview with some school kids, and they showed pictures of people. And they show a picture of Tony Abbott, and this one kid goes, "Oh, I know who that is." And they go, "Oh, so who is this?" "Oh, that's Tony Dum Dum. My mummy calls him Tony Dum Dum."
Oh, yeah. That reminds me of okay. So here's a question: would you rather Bojo or Nigel Farage?
Bojo. I know what I'm getting with Bojo.
Oh, okay.
I know what I'm
'Cause
getting.
Okay, because I remember there was a clip where like Nigel Farage was on, like I think GMB or something, and like this little like 5-year-old girl comes in, and he said, "My mummy says you're a racist." It was very, very awkward, very awkward television. It was like, okay,
Out of the mouths of babes, right?
out of the mouth of babes, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
But no, Tony Abbott versus Julia Gillard.
Mm,
That did not do the image of Australian politics much good.
no. Having said that, that was at a like.
The witch signs didn't go down very well either.
No, this which, but I would say that Julia Gillard did herself no favors.
No, she played into it too much.
Once she played into it too much, but I think, like I personally, I was really excited to have the first female prime minister. Like when she came to power, like the person she replaced was a fucking nutcase anyway. So that's
Kevin Rudd.
Kevin Rudd, yes, Kevin Rudd was he was all sorts of trouble.
There is something not right about Kevin Rudd every time he stepped in front of a camera.
Yeah, he was it's a bit hard to say exactly what, but yeah. So I think Julie replacing him was a good idea, and and not that I go like how can I say? Just trying to think of the way to put it. Yes, I was excited when she.
Labour Party.
Yeah, I'm probably good. I'm not supportive of the Labour Party. I'm not too fond of the Liberals either myself, though. Though I think on terms of the economy, the Liberals are better. But yeah, okay, that's anyway. So
Liberal Party.
So,
it seems funny to me that Liberal parties all over the world seem to be different parties.
Yeah, whereas in the
Yes.
UK, the Liberal Party is the centrist party.
Oh, weird.
Yep. Actually, do you think these guys would know about One Nation?
Pauline Hanson! Pauline Hanson! Run away from Burker in the Senate!
That sounds dangerous.
Pauline Hanson went into the Australian Senate. She's an Australian senator. I think she's an Australian senator for Victoria. I'm not
No,
certain.
Queensland.
I knew it was one of the big states.
It was.
Okay.
Yep.
And she is notoriously Islamophobic, and she walked in. I don't know whether she walked in wearing it or whether she actually put it on during a speech, but she at one point put on a burqa and started screaming about how oppressive it was on the Australian Senate. On the floor of the Australian Senate. It was really distasteful.
It was a stunt. But having said that, who's the dude's name? Fraser Anning.
Oh,
that
God,
guy.
he's even worse.
Yes. I was going to say that was
He split off and formed an even more right-wing group because he fell out with Pauline Hanson for not being right-wing enough.
pretty much. That is Fraser Anning's claim to fame. Is that him and Malcolm Roberts. I think they. Yeah, it's interesting. And then you have okay. Do you think Clive Palmer is the Donald Trump of Australian politics?
No, I do not.
Really?
I think Clive Palmer is a wannabe Donald Trump of Australian politics.
Oh.
I don't think he actually is. I think he's a wannabe.
Fair enough. Because I see a lot of similarities between those two. The only difference is that Clive Palmer hasn't gotten to power.
I think the best way to describe it is the only way how I can see it happening was if you would have a face-off where you had Nick Zenthorn versus Clive Palmer, and that would be
Oh God!
as extreme as you'd get. Did I
So
mention
I
Nick
want to say
Zenthorn?
hi to B and also to Harmonica Man there.
Yeah, for sure. They'll acknowledge you there. I sent B a link too, so I don't know.
B's on the shills.
Damn it, B.
Oh, never mind then. And Malty's in the chat too, who's from Seattle, by the way. Not sure if he's a Kraken fan, but
He should
but
be.
apparently, I just noticed this. Apparently, I got to share a link here from Aunt Jur about Weedle on the Needle. And it says see my link above, but I'll have to do that in regular YouTube because I can't. Well, I guess I could just highlight the link itself and do it that way.
But
No,
yeah,
I can't.
Getting back to Nick Zenthorn, his claim to fame is
Do we have
the
to?
The Australian Supreme. Well, yeah, because this is quite a funny thing. Because he says the Australian Supreme Court ruled that British overseas citizenship isn't actually real citizenship.
Well, when was that? When was that? That sounds like
the Australian constitutional crisis, because he was born in Cyprus.
Ah, yes. Yes. That. Yeah. Oh God, don't talk about the const. Oh, that was a fun time that was a fun time to be Australian. Like it was.
You know, I've never been Australian.
It makes two of us.
And
Me either.
three. Well, that makes four of us. Swede, have you ever been Australian?
I have not. I've only ever barely been European, but mostly American.
And it's funny because I've never been American.
Hey, Josh.
Josh!
Hello, Josh.
Hi.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me.
I actually have to go back and spend 3 months in Sweden next year to keep my citizenship passport.
Oh, darn. Oh, shucks. I like that Nathaniel commented in the chat.
So that sounds funny and all, except for the fact that travel in this day and age is a little bit weird.
True.
Have you got
True.
Do you currently hold a valid EU passport?
Swedish.
Then you'll have no problem. Because they'll just wave you in.
Well, I know I can get in. It's the connecting flights that get weird. Because unless I want to pay $6,500, there's nothing direct.
Ew.
I have a question. Is
gross.
all the seafood there sweet?
What?
Swedish?
Well, I'm actually a noble of the Principality of Sealand, and if I get a Sealand ID, I wonder what I can get from that.
The umpteenth time, Sealand has been destroyed by the British government. For the umpteenth time.
Holy shit.
Oh, Faye had to go.
Oh.
Sorry.
Just realized how hungry I am.
Oh. All
I've been
right.
up since like 6:15 Pacific time. So I've been up for a while today. So I'm just like, I'm so spacey at the moment.
Get your shit together, Susan.
13 hours.
I'm trying.
So this is the thing that Aunt Jure wanted me to share here. I'll show you guys. Wheedle on the needle.
Of course, I've never been to Sealand. I just bought a title.
You can't go to Sealand anymore. It is not possible.
Well,
Anything's
Fine.
possible with Jesus.
I can't imagine that was like a children's book title.
I'm
Philippians.
Quite the
still
opposite
Lady
is what it sounds
Catherine.
like.
It's not even
I see
spelled
what you're
properly.
working. Thank you for this.
One word, not two.
Actually, it is pronounced Sealand. I asked.
But it is spelled Sealand, one word.
Yeah, but the people who own and run it told me how they pronounce it. So I'm going to pronounce it their way because I'm pretty sure they would know.
Sounds legit.
Yeah.
I've never
One
heard
thing I
so
would
many
have to say on
consecutive,
that-
like awkward, silent moments in your anime parties, Neil.
In
Yeah.
Oh,
Sweden,
Jesus.
if you're in the north or the south, how you pronounce things is very different. Because Denmark ruled the south of Sweden for 500 some odd years. So this people in Stockholm say we talk like we have cotton in our mouths.
But wasn't there also the Swedish-Norwegian Union where they shared like a
Yeah,
king?
there's the Kalmar Union way back when, but actually Skåne, which is the very southern tip of Sweden, was actually a Danish territory for like 500 years.
You know, every time I've heard a Swedish person speak English, they have never sounded like the stereotype. The we come from Sweden, boingy, 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 like that. I've never heard that in real life, and I want to know
who
where the
does?
stereotype came from.
You know where that comes from? That's the
Where?
very north of Sweden. The
Phenomena?
very way up there where they still talk the old language, the old Norse Germanic.
Those are the rednecks of Sweden.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, see, I've
The
always
Hicksman
wondered
kid.
that. I'm glad to actually get a real answer. Thank you.
The government's gonna get my guns.
Those
Don't
people are
forget,
more. Those
every
people are
culture
actually
has a
called
redneck.
Sami.
Yeah.
One at a time, guys. One at a time. I'm getting an echo.
Spooky.
Same.
Same, yeah.
That ain't me. I got headset on.
Who's got their speaker going?
Old
I
buddy
don't
boy
know.
Josh.
Oh, sounds like
No,
it was
I have
Swede again.
earbuds in. There is no echo coming from me.
I tried turning off
Ow.
my mic. I don't think it's me.
It's not you.
Don't have headphones on. You're sus as fuck right now.
I have headphones on. You can tell I have headphones on too.
I don't know.
Minnesota.
That would
Home
actually
of the
be,
world's tiniest pops.
it would actually be quite accurate in the fact that most of those people up way up north are called Sami. That's their actual like ethnicity is called Sami, and they're more Finnish than they are Swedish.
I've always mispronounced that as Sami, but there you go. I learned something
Just
new.
depends on where in Sweden you're from.
It
Because
always
okay,
does.
The good part.
it's if you're in Stockholm, the southern tip of Sweden is called Skåne. If you're from Malmo, it's Skåne.
I actually don't know where my favorite band is from except Sweden.
ABBA was stationed.
No.
ABBA.
Was it Bjork
Roxette,
then?
dude. No ABBA.
Roxette?
Oh yeah, that is. Yeah, I don't know how
Bjork
I
is Icelandic.
already knew.
Bjork, yes, Bjork's Icelandic.
Sorry, okay.
And Lordia Finnish before anyone tries to say they're Swedish.
Yeah, well, still, I meant Roxette and Yelena Teeter for that matter.
People like to give us credit for Nokia. I don't know why.
There is a
But I
small
thought
percentage
Nokia- I
of
thought
Swedish-speaking
Nokia were
Finns, so I'll have to attest to that.
Very good. Oh,
It is
we got
Finnish.
coins.
That's why I don't know why.
We got coins.
Coins.
Yeah, that means take a drink. I'm having a beer, you guys. Look at me being
I
bad.
noticed
I
that,
love a soda.
but we've had
I've heard
coins
of
so
some
many
good
times you
Finnish
must be
drinking
getting low by now.
songs.
Nice.
I thought you were on the blood thinners.
Torpedo IPA.
I am.
Delicious.
I am on IPAs, but
Cheers.
I can sneak one or two here and there, and it's not a big
Ah,
deal. Doc's like, yeah, if you want to have one or two, it doesn't matter. Just don't make it a habit. Don't drink like a 6-pack, and you'll be fine.
Don't drive either.
Well, yeah, no, I don't do that anyways because I've had 2 of my cousins have been killed in drinking and driving accidents. So yeah,
Guys, who is Queen of the Sauna?
that's,
That's Phoebe.
it's Phoebe.
And
Hello,
who's Phoebe?
Hello, Phoebe.
me.
The,
Oh,
the
there
politics.
you are. Yes,
The politics
I'm-
lady.
I've just followed you on Twitter.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I agree. Yes, we could talk for. It's actually good. I'm sorry to hijack the conversation, guys, but it's very rare.
It's
I
an
can
after
actually
party.
talk.
Everything's a hijack.
Yeah, exactly. It's refreshing to be able to talk Australian politics with someone who actually understands Australian politics.
I understand your very bizarre 3-year election cycles. Who does that in this day and age? It just puts everyone on constant. We are electioneering. We are electioneering.
Well, the United
4 years
States
was
has it
bad
every
enough.
2 years.
Well, it's actually
Yeah.
So federal elections are 3 years, but states are 4 years.
And
Ah,
the Senate is every 6 years. In halves.
Correct, in halves, yes. However, at the 2013, the one that Pauline Hanson managed to scrape in was a full Senate
Double
election.
dissolution one.
Correct, the double dissolution one.
Because they were trying to ram through some bills afterwards. which they couldn't
That
get
sounds.
through.
That doesn't sound like Australian politics at all.
No.
Well, everything I know about Australian politics is that in Australia, there are politics.
yeah. It's like that's really the extent of it. Also, hey, so is it Damien?
That is me, yes.
My screen is shrunken, so I couldn't tell. So how much
So-
do you know about Ned Kelly?
Enough to.
It's
I'm
played by
slightly-
Yahoo Serious.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
What?
it
It was a good movie.
and also Mick Jagger. Mick Jagger played him.
Today I learned.
Indeed. So he's been played by Mick Jagger, Yahoo Serious, and who's the other? Heath Ledger. That's
there's
right.
a
Yes.
bunch of people that have played him. Because
See the Australian outlaw that protected the workers against
No.
vicious corporate.
He's the
You're-
one. He was like
You-
he was an outlaw, But like
He was.
he died in like, or I'm pretty sure he died in a shootout where he had like homemade
No.
armor on.
Yeah, he
Not-
died. He died looking like
Homemade
a power
armor?
armor
Why
from
don't you let
Fallout.
the Aussie tell you?
No, he did not die.
Oh, he
did
didn't
not
die.
die in that shoot. No, he was captured and he was hung in prison.
Oh,
So he got captured in a shootout. And yes, he actually had homemade armor.
he did.
And that was both that stopped him from dying, but it also stopped him from winning the shootout
I could see that.
because it was so unwieldy and heavy and clunky that it's very hard to aim a shotgun, or even a rifle or anything.
So the guy's dead, right?
Pots and pans.
Yes, this is a while
Okay,
back.
Considering he
And
was
we're still
hung in
talking
the
about him. It was effective.
yes, because the problem was that he was a cop killer, but the
Yeah.
problem though was that the cops were also corrupt as well. Like apparently police had raped his sister.
Cops corrupt?
I
Weird.
knew that. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
I can
Never
see
heard
that
of
being
cops
a
being corrupt
motivational
before.
factor.
it's a
No,
novel
and
idea.
so this was back in the 1800s when like oversight and all that kind of stuff. Like it was still basically the Wild West,
Right.
still very frontier, and So he died by hanging in. I'll see if I can find when exactly it was.
Let me see. Because I
Now,
can.
when
I can
you
probably
say he
Google
was hanged in
easier than
prison,
you
do
can.
you mean he was executed, or did the other prisoners get him?
No, he was executed by order of Her Majesty.
Okay. I mean, it could have been either way. You remember Jeffrey
No.
Epstein?
God, good old
Yeah.
Queen Vicky said he's
Doesn't that
going to
just
hang
sound
by
lovely?
his neck until the life has escaped his body.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I mean, either way, you're dead, right? But I mean, like, you got mugged in the street. Sucks. You were
Yeah.
executed by order of the queen. You're like, oh,
It
So
sounds like
Maybe
a
she took
panther.
an interest, eh?
What would you like to know about Ned Kelly?
Well, it was mostly that the only reason I know who he is, and because this is just like some random tidbit of information that I have. So there's a band that's based out of Texas, because how do you know someone's from Texas? Don't worry, they'll tell you.
That describes every
That is
Texan
one
I've
of the
ever
things.
met.
I know.
Oh shit!
I believe her, B.
I know.
I don't
have
know why, but
interacted
I
with-
do.
I've interacted with a few Texans, and it's within the first few paragraphs of what they've been telling me. It is just Texas.
So my necklaces.
Well, and you
there's
can
a- there-
always tell if someone's from Texas because that final syllable, the S, will actually sound more like a Z.
That's true. That's true. So there's a band based out of Austin called Reckless Kelly that is named
yeah.
after Ned Kelly.
Which was named after the movie.
Yes.
So, yep.
Yeah, they formed in '96 in Austin.
sounds
and
about
a couple of brothers from Idaho.
And that was roughly when the movie came out.
Mhm.
So, Yahoo Serious is probably the Australian version of Carrot Top.
Oh, I love
Agreed.
him so much
Agreed.
though.
I
I
only
have to
saw
point
him
out
in
how
Young
ironic his
Einstein.
name is, by the way, just because you just say the name Yahoo Serious, and I just like kind of giggle, like in the
Yeah,
back
right.
of my head, because I can't take him seriously.
But he was so good as young Einstein too.
I know.
So
Fist bump.
good.
Yep.
Like, I mean, I
His-
haven't seen that since what, the 80s or the 90s?
His real name is
but I remember
his real
enjoying
name.
it.
Sorry. So I was gonna say his real name is Greg Pead. Pead.
That doesn't make me
Yes.
chuckle at all.
So boring. I know, right?
No, exactly. No, but who was it that mentioned about the protecting the workers or something?
That was me.
Who is me?
Swede.
That's Swede.
Yes. You're thinking of the Eureka Stockade, which was where the basic story behind that was the cops and the authorities were asking too much in terms of mining licenses from the miners, from the people who were trying to actually make a living from getting the gold out of the ground.
Oh, okay.
But there was also a lot of corruption and all that kind of stuff. Familiar story.
I mean, it's
What
a prison
event-
island. What do you expect?
Yeah, I know, it still isn't, and it kind of still is right now with all these lockdown restrictions. Fucking hell. So anyway, what eventually happened was that a publican was charged with murdering someone. I don't know exactly who, but yeah, a publican was charged with murdering someone. But because he was friends with the judge, he kind of got off.
Oh my goodness!
And so that set off a series of protests, which then eventually became what is then called the Eureka Rebellion. And the reason that they called it Eureka because the Eureka was the name of the hotel that the publican owned that caused all the drama. So from there, as horrible as it sounds, there were actually some benefits because I think what the government realized was that, hold on, you can't go pushing people around. You got to treat people a bit more fairly. No taxation without representation. All that kind of stuff. It then also birthed the democracy and the parliamentary system in Victoria, which is my home state, which is where it all happened.
And
so
I just got to respond to what Purple said a few minutes ago.
Okay.
Yeah, he died of natural causes because being strangled will naturally end a man's life.
It's true.
At 3:30 in the morning, wonderful human beings, and on the note of being strangled to death, I'm going to go to bed.
Go to bed, Phoebe.
Well then, Phoebe, have a great night.
Phoebe, it was a pleasure meeting you.
It will be.
Catch you like the plague.
What?
Goodbye.
Bye, Phoebe.
All I said was catch you like the plague.
The black one stars.
Too soon.
Swine flu, bird flu.
Hang on, now we got to rearrange people again.
Susan
There we go.
will enjoy this one, but somebody on the Nebraska roster was having trouble holding on to the football earlier today. So I said, that guy couldn't catch a cold licking the doorknobs in a daycare center.
Golly.
Wow.
And some
Get that one up on the
Anybody ever
fly
been to
because
a
that's
Gallagher
creative as
concert?
hell.
Yeah, that is good. That is
That's
good.
amazing, and I love it, and also accurate.
Somebody's salty.
Also accurate. Oh well, so Scott Frost is just an awful person. The
Who is
Nebraska
Scott
head coach.
Frost?
He's the Nebraska head coach, Nebraska football head coach.
Oh.
And he's a terrible person, and he's currently under investigation for NCAA violations. And if they are hoping they can use it, or I've seen it speculated that they're hoping they can use it to let him out of
Forecast
his
him.
contract.
Yeah, they can forecast him because he's got a $20 million buyout right now.
Yes, he does. And if he waits until the end of the season, it's only like 5 or 2.5 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm having trouble. I'm having trouble determining if he's a good person or not.
It depends on if you think I'm a bad person. Because if I say somebody's a bad person, but you think I'm a bad person, it's like, I mean,
Well, you're
I
the
could
worst.
suck.
I think people
No,
have
it's
enough
just like-
trouble
like-
determining
like
if
in
they're
that-
a
in
bad
that
person
sen-
themselves or not.
Well, so in that sentence, you said he's like a terrible person about 4 or 5 times. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I wonder if she thinks he's a bad person.
Tell us how you really feel,
I
Susan.
do.
Exactly.
I do.
Don't-
I really
don't
think
hold it
Scott
back.
Frost is terrible. He's a bad person.
Oh, there we go. We got a good person over there.
Ooh.
I'm in trouble, Neil. That's all I got left. And I placed my order over a week ago, and it hasn't shown up yet.
Oh,
What was that?
What is that?
Weed.
it's weed, isn't it?
Okay, it's
It
on my screen.
What's it?
Yeah,
what's
at
it-
first I thought it was like little meatballs or something. It looked
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Little
Like-
luscious
like
leafy
put me full
lumps.
screen, Neil.
That's what that is.
Swedish
Put you full
meatballs.
screen? Okay, I'll put you full screen. Hang on.
I can smell it through the screen.
Right?
Let me see if
Reminds
I
me that I need to get more gummies.
Getting the munchies.
can- Oh, that doesn't work.
Well, I've got about a
What?
vape and a half left.
Hang on,
like
hang
a
on.
gram and a half. So
Hang on.
This is
I'll
one of those
fix- hang
situations
on.
where you find out where somebody, like if somebody's from Texas or not, like because they look at that, whip and slap the knee, like
It's not working.
hot damn.
It's not working.
Yeehaw, motherfucker.
Okay.
Golden
Oh,
G.
that-
Oh, hang
Willikers?
on. I know why.
I'm so
I
sorry.
know why. I know why.
What'd
Hang
you
on.
do?
No,
Oh,
I can't.
fuck, no.
Why the fuck won't this work? It's not work. I can't get it to work.
Okay.
'Cause God
What
hates
are
us
you
all.
trying
To get that
to
weed
do?
out.
Apparently, I fucking suck. What? Shut up, Josh. Oh, hang on. There we go.
Mikey?
There you
we
go.
go. All right.
Bastard.
Show it off again. Hello.
Fucking hell.
There you go.
It's the lighting. It still looks like beef.
It looks like the insides of an ashtray that has coagulated.
Looks
Yum.
like something I want to roll. Is what it looks like.
I
Yeah,
think
you should
it
try.
looks like
You should
granola,
try light it
man.
up and see what happens.
Just the whole
There
thing.
you There
Boom.
you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Get a blanket and put it over your head. You know, like when you get steam because you're clogged.
Or just put it in the cold air return of your furnace and light it on fire, and your whole house can get you high.
That's
Go
true.
into a sauna
Yep.
and like chuck the plant on the rocks, and then like add some hot water and be like a really big vapor bomb.
Well, I mean, I love going into one of the dispensaries and just being hit by that wave of fumes. It's crazy. You could get high just walking in.
Thanks, Google Eats.
Yeah, that's all I got left too. This is
The one time we went to a dispensary, like a couple months after we got here, I think it was a couple months. We did drive-through because it was COVID and stuff. We did drive-through for it, and we took the dogs with us and everything, and they gave them little treats, so it was nice.
Okay, my dispensary doesn't have drive-through, but it does have delivery.
Guys, what is a dispensary?
It's a place
Marijuana
where you can buy weed.
So say it slowly for southern people like me.
It's a place where you can buy weed.
Marijuana.
or weed related products like edibles.
Okay, so you can actually. So why not just call it a pharmacy or like a okay.
Well, because
Name
here
was
in the
taken.
United
Years, man. We're
States,
just dipping our
a
toes in this
pharmacy
shit
is
here.
where you pick up prescriptions from your doctor. There are medical dispensaries too, but in this particular case, it's not that. But a pharmacy would confuse people if you called it that.
Maybe an easier explanation. It's slang for a marijuana or pot shop.
Yeah, okay. And I take it it's solely dedicated to marijuana.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, there are different kinds of
products.
dispensaries, but since we're talking about weed, I just said dispensary.
I mean, they might have a few condiments, so to speak, when it comes to smoking or paraphernalia or snacks, and whatever else they feel might be
we haven't
good for the demographic. But yes, it is a weed store.
We haven't got to the. We haven't got to that stage yet. We're still in the process of possibly decriminalizing it. But yeah,
that's it. Fuck, we've had that here for a
well,
while.
having said that, like you can relatively easily get it, but it's more the offense of having a trafficable quantity is more the problem rather than
what qualifies
possession.
as a trafficable
Exactly.
trafficable quantity? Would that
Good
be
question.
more than an ounce? I'm just wondering, would that be more than an ounce?
I got to agree with the whole thing about not having snacks is kind of But the thing is, now I don't know if it's apocryphal, but there is that meme that goes around every now and then about the Girl Scouts trying to sell their cookies, and they set up right outside like a college campus. It's really popular.
Just to
outside the
people love weed. And I'm
go to the
thinking
weed shop
same
to get your
principle.
pot.
Oh, hold on, guys. Let finish first.
Yeah, I was just thinking same principle.
Right.
Well, the thing is,
there
you go
actually
to the pot
is a
shop.
picture of Girl Scouts setting up outside of a dispensary.
Now, come
Yeah, I
on,
think I've
guys.
seen
Ollie
that.
was next.
You go to the pot shop to get your weed. You take it home and you smoke it, so you don't need to pick up snacks at the pot store. Hopefully, you were smart enough to pick them up at the grocery store. Either that, or you're ordering takeout.
Knowing full well.
Yeah, but everyone who goes to the dispensary is stoned. So
Not when they're going there.
I
They're
know.
going
I'm
home.
kidding. I'm
I went
kidding. I'm
stoned.
kidding.
I go to the dispensary stoned all the time. What are you talking about?
Well, I guess yeah.
You have no idea the power of the impulse buy.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, I
know
didn't
Exactly
even get
what
that
somebody's
Kit Kat
just going
this
to
morning.
think about at
Sorry.
any particular given time. Money.
Yeah, I didn't mean to get that Kit Kat this morning, but well,
Still happens.
It's coming in handy.
Yeah.
Especially if they pass out samples or something like that, just to let you test it out.
Actually,
Oh, we got these snacks too. It's a fun size bag of Grippos. All right, here you go, $5. You're like, cool, man.
The fuck
for some reason, edibles and I don't get along. Like, the high is good when I can get it, but I develop an immunity so fast.
Really? Weird.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You ever try those?
Is that a vape?
Vape pen, yeah.
Yeah, that's actually what I have right now.
Yeah. I ordered two of them the last... This was pretty much empty, right? But I with my order, I ordered 3 more. So I'm going to try it again.
Okay, I think that's an enzyme. There's people that don't produce enough of a certain enzyme to metabolize THC through their digestive system. There's a certain other chemical that it turns it into, to turn it into this, to turn it into that, and that's how it affects your brain when it goes through your digestive system. And some people don't produce enough of that enzyme. That's probably what you're dealing with.
Well, hell, I wonder if being a super taster has anything to do with it.
Don't know.
I don't see how.
No, you just got skills.
Yeah, except being a super taster sucks because everything I can taste that other people can't is bitter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've heard that. I think B is the super taster too.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll have to get together to gripe sometime, B.
You have got to record that conversation.
Yeah, totally. I'd pay to hear that one.
Shit.
I can't find something to roll on. God damn it.
What?
I have nothing within reach for the first time ever. Son of a 3-legged. No, hang on.
I'm saying you're surrounded by friends, man. I hope you can't find anything to roll on right now.
What? No, stop. All right, I found something. I figured, fuck it, I'll just use the hot sauce shit that I used from that show that I did the other day.
Well, one thing that Ox just said, notice you don't hear of potheads catching the Rona. Actually, it's funny, I saw an article that said the smoking marijuana can raise your immunity. So actually, there's a reason for that.
No.
Seriously, I checked it out. There were multiple websites, so I started to suspect it might be true.
Okay, I have a friend of mine who's an avid pot smoker caught coronavirus, so I highly doubt that.
Vaccinated?
No, not vaccinated.
Well, I mean,
before the vaccine.
Pot smoker
they said it
vaccinated,
doesn't
still
make
caught
you
the Rona,
immune,
bam.
just that it helps
Oh,
your
wait.
resistance is the thing. So that's not surprising. I don't know.
I don't know. I'd have to see some hard data on that sort of to.
Yeah,
all together now.
Hard
More
data.
research is needed.
You know, if you want to find hard data, go to Tasha Yar.
Ooh.
That was great. That was quick.
Too soon. Too soon.
Why didn't you?
Oh shit,
Mikey, why didn't you get a code? You could have come in here and fuck it all by yourself. You wouldn't need me to let you in here.
Kate, that was
a lot
golden.
of steps.
That was fucking golden.
Mikey's being lazy.
How dare you? I just got off a fucking shit shift. You shut your mouth, Ollie, man. Fucking commuted from your office to your fucking other office. Shut up.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. But my other
Mikey,
office
to deal with humans
steps
today.
that way.
Mikey, do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
Leave and come back when you ain't quite so mouthy.
Hey, I'm glad Mikey's here. I like that.
That's the first time I've ever came at Mikey like that. Like,
Don't you be fucking going after my producer like that, people. Come on. What's wrong with you?
Mikey knows where my heart is.
Well, I stand by my statement. I was glad Mikey was here.
Yeah, me too. Because he had
If
to work
anybody knows
late.
me so
It
far. If I'm
sucks.
fucking with you, I like it.
So did you not want a code, dude, or what?
I want to make dinner.
Oh, well, fuck. Then I'll send you a code.
Yeah, I'm making dinner. So I was like,
oh,
let me.
What the hell are you trying to eat?
I got some potatoes going, and then I got some bone-in New York strips.
Never mind. I'm not touching that one.
What, with the bone in?
New York strips.
Mm.
Never mind.
Neil, you're a child.
I am so. I mean,
No,
yeah.
that's just
Yeah,
a
well, I mean, I am too. We recognize our
That was a
own.
great phrase.
Indeed, we do. Yes, indeed. Wait, what? What I miss? What? What? Who said what now?
Bone in New York strip. Come on, there's just.
I know. There's gold in that territory right there.
We've all been 5 for a long time. We understand this shit.
It goes higher than 5.
I don't think I understood what bone in would have been at 5, but maybe 9 or 10.
I was just instinctually
just be where you don't get
things.
So I was
just be where you don't come back out with spotted dick.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, we know all about spotted dick. Yeah. I went to the doctor though; it's okay now.
That's good.
Just to comment on Skywatcher's last thing there. Yes, you're right. Any laws against weed are just wrong. If it's legal to drink in wherever you're at, it should be illegal to do pot.
Yep.
It doesn't make any sense at all that should be illegal.
Well, the drug war was just about racism, right?
Yeah,
that's a big chunk of it. Yes.
For sure. Yep.
Right.
It was also about some paper. Of the companies like textiles and stuff like that were threatened.
Yeah, it was about paper. Because
I've never heard that one before, but it makes sense. Huh?
Yeah, hemp is such a dangerous product to them.
Yep. I mean,
spotty dick changes dramatically. It depends on what side of the penis you're on.
What?
Honestly, the only way to make weed, hemp, whatever better is if it tasted better when you smoke it.
I don't mind the taste when I smoke it, but
yeah, I don't mind.
Well, I mean, when you cough, because you just, it'd be nice if it was smoother.
That's one of the reasons I like vapes. I don't cough nearly as much off the vapes.
Of course, you don't mind the taste.
If I'm doing it right, a vape still makes me cough.
And I might have found something new that might not make me cough. It's called a tincture. No, it's called a tincture. It's liquid THC. Tincture? Yeah. It's liquid. It's liquid THC. Yeah, it's liquid THC. You just put it underneath your tongue and let it absorb into your system.
Extraction method.
Yeah, the thing is, tinctures are worse than edibles for me. They have never affected me. I've downed an entire vial once, and it did nothing.
Well, I'm experimenting with it. I ordered some to try it. So,
all right, kids, I'll pass you down a little bit of information here on how to make yourself what we call honey oil, which is close to what he's calling tincture.
Oh, I know how to make honey oil.
Yeah, this is a butane method. You take a pill bottle, poke a bunch of holes in the bottom of it, fill it full of your favorite weed, or even your less favorite weed that you don't feel like smoking because it tastes like shit, but it's got some THC in there, and we'll work with that. You fill it full of weed, put one hole in the top, get yourself one of those canisters of butane refill, squirt it right through the top, all the way through the weed, get yourself like a little plastic dish underneath there, put your hand on it, squirt it all through, have it all drip through. It'll be this green liquid, and butane boils at like 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So you're going to see that little plastic dish boiling in your hand. Make sure you're not smoking, of course. That'd be stupid.
But if you're smoking,
wait for it to boil away at room temperature, and all you're left with is this green little sludge. Swipe that up, got yourself some honey oil. But it takes about 10 ounces.
It doesn't sound like honey oil to me.
Yes, that sounds like a lot of work.
It is. How much work do you put into some other mundane things that don't quite give you so much happiness?
Well, I mean, I spend a lot of time in pursuit of lack of effort. So
there we go. At least this is going to pay off, baby.
Okay, you put effort into the
it's
things.
Return on investment. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, that's true. In fact, I have shot number 205 of Quinn Redshift rendering right now. It took me all day to animate the fucker, and I'm very proud of it.
I saw you post that earlier today that you were going to be taking that on.
Yeah.
I mean, how much effort have you put into this week? And I'm almost not asking Kate about this. How much effort have you put into this week alone about just not pissing people off? Kate, I'm only excluding you because I know you've put actual physical effort into trying to piss people off, and I respect that.
Well, no, seriously. Okay, Neil didn't believe me when I said it, but I know I can be a bit off-putting, and I've been trying like hell to work on it, and a lot of it I think has to do.
Keep doing that. You're fucking good at it, and you do that shit with. It's not righteousness. It's respect.
No, I think you might misunderstand, because I was about to say a lot of it has to do with just my tone of voice. When I listen to myself in recordings, I feel like I sound whiny, and I've been trying to work on that.
I've never considered you to sound whiny. Me personally.
Okay, well,
Personally,
okay.
I'd say that's a user error. That's not your fucking problem.
Well, still,
You
you're
come
right.
across-
It is something
you've
I
always
think
got
about.
good points. You always come across with a good logical standpoint on whatever the hell you're talking about. So whoever has a problem with where you're coming from, it's not an ethical problem on your part. It's interpretation.
And you've
Well,
always
thank
got
you.
puns, and I
That's
appreciate
flattering.
about you.
All of that's flattering. Thank you.
I'm just calling it like I see it, Kate. I haven't had a chance to give you props.
Every now and then I get that one person who'd leave a comment on one of my videos who's like, why doesn't this have like 30,000 views? And I was like, yeah, I know, right? So I don't know. Maybe I'm just one of those people who will be unappreciated in my time.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. I agree. I feel like same way sometimes. Oh, however,
I appreciate the fuck out of myself, and I'm it's starting to look like I'm going to have
I
to be
didn't
okay
say I
with
didn't
that.
appreciate myself. I appreciate what I do, and I got another email today, as a matter of fact, of somebody that thanked me for doing the podcast, and they said they eventually want to come on the show as well. So,
Oh shit!
Oh, right
Yeah,
on.
Neil. On Monday, I'm guest hosting Tart
I'm sorry.
on Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern, whatever the fuck p.m. where you're at.
That's V6 here.
I'm guest hosting Tart.
Yeah, he didn't ask you to repeat yourself.
Yeah, what
I
name
heard
is this
what, and
tart?
that's just what started flowing out, and it was the point of no return.
No,
really,
he
what-
apologized for you having to do it. That's all. He was being
What
Canadian.
is tart?
Tart or Tang, the Atheist Round Table.
Oh, that! Oh.
Yeah.
At least that's the plan. I spoke with Oz, and we scheduled
Some good
for Monday.
folks. Some good folks.
Oh,
Hi,
they're
Biddy.
fucking
I
great.
see you there. You want to join us? You're welcome to join us if you like, Biddy. Yeah, apparently she's going to be with you too, doing the show with you on Tang.
Something to say.
Josh,
Kind of
talking to you.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Say it again.
Could you not hear me? Like, what the fuck?
I'm going to turn you up. You're doing
I'm
things on
already
the
turned
side.
up.
You're letting people in. You're setting out notifications. You're talking to Biddy, and then I get afraid.
Fucking
Turn
doing
it up. Do 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 do
Turn the radio
do.
up.
Oh,
Turn it up.
okay.
Everybody's loud now. Go ahead. Hit it, Neil.
It's okay. It's okay. It's all good, man. No, fuck you.
I'll take it.
You're
You
cool
will
being in
turn
the
it.
chat. Well, yeah, the offer stands. Yeah. You're one of the good ones, Biddy. So it's always nice to have you in here.
Oh no, Biddy's coming. I gotta go.
No, she's staying in the chat.
I gotta go.
So,
Oh, that was a good beer.
Yeah.
I bought some clear Canadian today.
You bought clearly Canadian? Holy shit.
I really
hard to
miss that
find.
stuff.
No
You
shit.
can find it in the supermarket again now, but it doesn't taste the same.
It's because it's pink cane sugar.
Who the hell said that?
Not the water. That's that sweet
It
guy.
used to be It used to be fructose corn syrup. Now it's cane sugar.
Well, but I mean, I live near the Mexican border, and we get the Mexican sodas a lot, the ones that are made with cane sugar, and they're much, much better. But the clearly Canadian I had just, I don't know, something was off.
can we at least all agree that when somebody says, "Who said that?" is like the secular form of blasphemy?
Who said that?
At least for what it's worth.
I don't really do a lot of karaoke. I used to, but not so much these days.
I
But
used to have
if I
some.
do, there's a few tunes I like to sing. So
I used to have some friends who'd
Just not
invite me
Queen's,
out
right,
all
you
the
bastard.
time, and they would like actually buy me my drinks, and I was like, "Wow, you guys love me or something." They spent so much. I guess they just like spending time with me. But there were definitely some songs I loved doing at karaoke, not least of which Yakko's World, which has gotten me free drinks when I do it from memory, like cover my eyes and just do it without the prompt. And yeah. So, no, karaoke is a blast.
oh yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Fucking
I used to
love
do
it.
quite often.
Whenever I can. I tried to start a fucking karaoke Discord server, but apparently people got cold feet when it comes to actually stepping up to the mic. So
there you go.
Neither can I, so it's okay.
Yeah, I'm just shy unless it's live.
Oh, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
That's the fun in it. I have stage fright. That's why I do it.
Yeah, whether I can sing or not, it won't stop me.
Yeah, exactly.
I might have to take up drinking again if I'm going to do that.
My dance
There's
don't
probably a few
via
people here
camera.
that remember when I sang Whitney Houston for what was that? Doc Fearsom's car fundraiser a couple years back. Not well, by the way. It was
What's this, Kate?
Huh? Oh. I think I may have done that on one of Diana's streams, because if I remember, were you the one who sort of put your cousin on while he was drunk off his ass? And I guess one of you, I sang Soft Kitty for one of you because you were clearly sick. I don't know. That might have been it. I don't remember that
wasn't
night
that
too
on
well.
one of my streams?
No, Diana was there.
you sang Soft Kitty for a sick person.
I'll be back.
Or for a
That's
drunk
fucking beautiful.
person.
If they're sick,
yeah.
drunk, or they're just sitting there. They've just ingested a little too much Netflix. I don't care. You sang Soft Kitty for somebody who needed it.
Yeah. I don't care about you people who think it's just nerdy blackface. I like The Big Bang Theory.
Nerdy blackface.
I've heard people say that. I've heard people say, no. It's just like making fun of geek and nerd culture, so I don't like it. I'm just like, really?
Geek nerd cultures. It was just totally representing it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I always say. I'm like, I know these people. I know so many people who are just like these people.
Yeah. That's why the show was such a fucking hit.
Hard delic, cold delic, great big ball of hate delic.
I think some people just like to get grouchy at everything, I've seen people start fights on behalf of people who didn't have a problem with what was going on. And I'm just like, wow, knock it off.
I mean, everybody knows that one person, that one of my favorite fucking memes, at least to date, has got to be that scene where they're in that living room, The Big Bang Theory, and they got the Bernie mittens sitting down on the couch, like right next to everybody. And then like Sheldon's standing there. He's like, Leonard, he's in my spot. Can love it. We all know somebody that's got that attitude.
Yeah. Well, and actually semi-related, but not entirely. Does everyone have the hypochondriac friend where when some condition or other starts getting in the news, they have it no matter what it is?
I got the Rona.
I don't have that friend, but I knew somebody that I worked with that was like that.
Oh, there was someone I knew back in Seattle where, like, to hear them tell it, they're like 7, 8, 9 different syndromes in one person, from like gender dysphoria to dyslexia to ADHD, like
they're
everything.
Like a walking
they had
WebMD.
It's like weird, almost like some sort of Munchausen syndrome thing.
Oh no! You ever want to feel like you're dying, have a headache, and then start Googling shit on WebMD? It'll be fucking cancer before afternoon.
Yeah. It's never lupus.
Never.
Yeah, everything's either it's always lupus or it's never lupus.
Or it's never lupus, yeah.
Porpoise, to be fair, Sheldon's the one who looks down on Howard. The rest of the folks don't really seem to mind that much, except maybe his wife.
Well, the dean of the university also made a comment on him, told him, well, get yourself a PhD. They're great. He said that in one of the episodes to him, right? So
I always thought the dean was kind of a schmuck, though.
That's true. But yeah.
So, Neil, could you tell us what songs do you actually enjoy singing?
Hang on a second here before we answer.
I know there's coins. It's a distraction.
No, not the coins. The coins, yeah. Hashtag coins. There you go. Damien has to go, so he's got some family stuff. So Damien, pleasure having you on, my friend. Thanks for hanging out with us for a little longer in the after party. Sorry we stopped talking politics. I know you like politics. But,
Don't get run over.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, thanks for joining us today. If you guys missed the interview, there's a link below if you want to check it out. And you find all of his podcast information and his YouTube channel and his Twitter account and stuff like that. And you can follow him there. Also, go and sub to his channel. When I went and subbed today, he had like 6 subscribers. That's not acceptable. So,
feeling that
on my way.
So head over there and let's get him up to like at least 50 today, if we can. We'll see.
I'm on it.
Citizen Report says I've got to be a heavy metal guy. Actually, I sing all kinds of stuff.
Tons of Mice could get him up to 50 subs by himself.
Yeah, with all his accounts.
Yeah,
with all his stock accounts.
Oh yeah.
I don't see a link below, Neil, for that.
For what?
To go to Damien's stuff.
It's because it's in the interview, not here. Like I said, if you go to the interview, which is linked below, all his links are on the interview.
Yeah, I'm there now.
All right.
I'll get it. I'm only a little stoned. Give me a break.
Well, shit, then catch up already.
Normally, I would have already had it in the chat for you, but I've just,
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Man can only take so much.
Take what?
Everything's on this side of the screen, Neil. Life has not been kind the past few months.
Done.
All right.
But you keep pressing on.
Says I have 2 accounts. Except you forgot a couple of zeros there, Tons of Mice.
Right?
Yeah.
Got way more than that.
Yeah, Tons has 2 accounts. Google Eats has 2 accounts.
Two to what power?
Not yet.
To the power of 2. Okay, yeah, that's what it is. Okay,
I thought it was by the power of Grayskull, but that could be something else. I just watched that actually. The new He-Man.
The new one. How was it?
It was okay.
Was it okay?
It was okay.
Yeah.
It was. I do like that they got Mark Hamill to do the voice of Skeletor. That was
Right.
Yeah.
That makes me happy. Makes me very happy.
Well, Mark Hamill plays so many damn villains.
Right.
He's awesome.
Hell,
That's
Skywalker.
Skywalker.
I actually asked him on Twitter to be in my animation project. I had a 4-line part, but he said, talk to my agent. And I was like, darn it.
Talk to his agent.
Well, I mean, how freaking cool would that have been to have Mark damn Hamill in my animation? But oh well.
Then talk to his agent.
Listen, guys,
the agent's going to be like,
guys.
okay, $10,000. So
Right.
Exactly, guys, per word. But guys, I'm just going to give you a heads up here. I'm sorry to have to do this, but here's Randolph.
Hey, somebody apologizing for me for a change.
Whoa, Randolph, you're loud.
Yeah, you are super loud.
Let me fix that.
Hot.
Yeah, turn the gain down.
you
buddy.
sound like you're in a stadium.
Yeah, some of it has to do with your acoustics.
Is this better?
That is much better.
A little bit.
Okay.
It's bouncing
Sorry
off the
about
wall
that.
behind you. So
I think you
I'm at
need
a
some
client site.
tapestry.
We're just doing. I got here at 0700 hours. Been working almost nonstop, putting in network wiring, getting everything ready for Monday, because they've decided to move 3 locations on the same weekend instead of 3 different weekends. It's been busy.
What I know is that when Randolph says he's been super fucking busy, take him on his word.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm just taking a break while I'm waiting for the other guy to finish up some wiring, because everything's waiting for that before we can go to the next phase. I'll probably be here a couple more hours.
Randolph, I would like to borrow just a little bit of your executive function, because
Right.
my ability to start tasks is so bad.
Do you do the waiting thing like all the time when you have something to do at like 1 o'clock? It's like I'm not going to do
9:45. I'll wait till 10.
Yep. And then it's all like, oh, it's 10:03. Let me wait until 10:30.
I wish I had time to procrastinate.
Yeah, well, I'm going to procrastinate later.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. That solves the problem. That solves the problem perfectly. Procrastinate later.
Yeah. Well, I actually have a problem finishing projects. Like, I'm surprised I've gotten as far as I have with Quinn Redshift. But, like, I've started so many things and then abandoned them after a while for whatever reason. Like, I'd get bored or I'd have another idea that I really wanted to pursue, and I just never finished anything. And I'm determined to finish this project, god damn it.
That's not procrastination.
Well, no, it's not, but I like on those other projects, I kind of a lot did.
Well, just putting something off, that's not procrastination. We have to understand the difference between procrastination and patience here. Both things involve you not doing something. It's about intent. Procrastination is about what you don't feel like doing. If it's based in something that you're avoiding, that's procrastination.
I guess that is
something
actually
that you
part
haven't
of
done yet. It's either patience or you're just.
Actually, no. Let me explain. Actually, making 3D characters isn't that difficult. Rigging them up with a skeleton to move is a gigantic pain in the ass. So that easily could have been why I procrastinated.
I've seen some of your work, so I'm not going to judge. It's got to be a pain in the ass.
Anyway.
Well, what?
I don't know.
Silence is like, what the hell?
I know that was strange. It was strange.
Yep.
Let's see.
It's like everybody's talking at the same time, or just like everybody's like, who's going to say something?
Yeah, exactly.
Artie said something. You can't be procrastinating if you're not compelled to do the thing you're not doing.
I'm not sure that's necessarily true.
Maybe you're prioritizing.
Yeah.
No, I'm not signing up for an argument with Artie, so I'm just going to go with sure.
I keep meaning to visit my friends in Seattle, but for a while I was convinced I shouldn't be spending any money ever. So I was sort of like procrastinating. I really wanted to go to Seattle, but I was like, I don't know if I should, but I can't, so it was like indecision, procrastination. Does that make sense?
Yes, completely.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. This is new to me.
What is new to you?
Programmers get Christmas and Halloween confused?
Yeah.
It's probably like decimal versus octamal. I don't fucking know how to say.
Yeah. Decimal is base 10, octal is base 8.
Right.
Numbering. Hardly anybody uses octal anymore, but it's a good pun. It's very computer programmer focused.
No wonder I missed it.
Don't worry about it. Okay. Some programmers.
Computer science major for semester.
I'm surprised I got it, frankly. It was just sort of all context and by osmosis.
You did very well.
Yeah, I just wish I'd known what to call base 8.
But now you know.
Yeah,
knowing is half the battle.
And base 16 is
G.I. Joe,
which is abbreviated as hex, which can kind of mix in some religious or superstitious humor.
Or Marvel connotations too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the WandaVision and the hexagons and anyway.
Well, you know what an Italian witch says when she uncurses you?
Oh no.
Hexagon.
In computers, you could say, "Stop computer viruses. Practice safe hex."
Yeah.
And if you know who CGP Grey is, go watch Hexagons.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hexagons.
We've been through this already, Boomer. Unix time ends in 2038. Is that some kind of prophecy? Well, there is that meteor that's coming, or asteroid, or whatever, that's about that time.
Oh,
sure.
It's because of the number of bits used to store the date. It wraps around to 0 after 2038. Because all the ones, there's no more space, so they become zeros, and there's not an additional space for another one. That's the problem.
So, are you saying we're gonna have Y2038?
Maybe.
Then?
Why 2.038K?
Yeah, we're probably going to have a few issues there. Although I suspect because Linux and Unix are all open source, this will likely be handled long before that. So it really probably won't be an issue by then.
We caught it now. It's not going to be a problem.
It's not like the private enterprises that figure somebody else will come up with a magical solution and they just leave it to the capitalists to let the market decide.
Yeah, that's really stupid. Nobody would do that.
Asteroid, meteor, or it's like just make it one meteoroid. There you go.
Meteoroid, that works. Yeah.
Well, it's a very simple distinction. Asteroids are up in space. Meteors are headed through an atmosphere toward a planet.
Yeah.
And meteorites have hit the ground.
Yep.
Hey, do you know why the steaks in space taste a little better?
Oh no! Here we go.
Oh, because they're meteor.
Yeah.
I've heard that one
That's
before.
really good. I like that.
Stolen from Futurama. Blatantly stolen from Futurama.
Although I swear I heard it before Futurama.
I mean, Futurama probably stole it from somewhere else. So
Star dates will come into
it
play.
was like the second episode.
Yeah.
What?
Allegedly, there's a formula to turn real dates into star dates, but I don't know it.
There is, and yeah, you're right. I can't remember it either. The world is ending in 2038. Randolph Richardson.
I love these misquotes.
Folks, I'm going to hop off.
All right, John.
Wasn't it Dan Quayle who says he stands by all the misstatements that he's made? Take care, Josh. It's good to see you. Good to chat with you.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, have fun.
Take it.
Yeah, see you later, bud.
Okay, he's gone. Let's talk about him.
Hey.
Somebody's got to do it because Mikey ain't here to say that. So.
That's right.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Works out well.
That fucking guy, I tell you.
Mikey's signature verbiage.
Mikey does have a lot of like
catchphrases.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't necessarily say catchphrases, but that's probably the best way to describe them. Yeah,
Kind of is.
I'm gonna say go-tos or macros.
Memes.
He's got more catchphrases than a party game.
Well, I remember when I was playing like this old text online game thing. It was a MUD, and we had these things where you could set up a series of commands that would make you do something automatically, and we called those macros. And I would sort of say, same kind of thing with like, oh, someone says something that triggers a response. You know what I mean?
And my doctoral work is going to be in macro.
Welcome in, man.
I get to take a second 8 weeks of the semester macro class.
Careful, your arms are going to fall off. Keep that.
No, they won't.
And if you want to take a really, really close picture to something, you have to use a macro lens.
It's true.
Oh.
And when I say
the less said about macro evolution, the better.
If you want to take a picture of something that you're not quite sure about, you can use a metaphorical lens.
Boo.
Where's my badoops? I need sound effects.
Yeah,
Yep.
or
God, if only you had a producer.
Can you get a picture of the metaphoric substrate that way? I'd like to send it to Jordan Peterson.
See, I've often heard that he used a lot of Vaseline on his lenses.
If you can't afford a really good camera, you'll have to find someone who lends money.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, okay, I'll just go.
Jesus Christ.
They can't all be killers.
That one hurt.
Well, that was supposed to be a stinker.
As someone
Two-thirds of a
like
You say that like you're indicating that the rest weren't?
Oh, shots fired over
This was the one that was intentional, okay?
Sometimes it's intentional, sometimes not so much.
Listen, Ollie, just go fucking play your disc golf, all right?
Well, I have a lot of fun.
It's always better to say I meant that.
Yep.
that was god awful.
Better to beg forgiveness than ask permission. Is that what they said?
Yeah.
That's what Mama taught me.
I'm not sure about better. It's just easier.
Yeah, easier.
I think that is what makes it better.
Exactly.
Is that it's easier? Yeah.
I mean, otherwise it's just different.
Right. It's a different approach. Depends on what you're better at.
Yeah, I'm looking for an easy way out of this, and the best way is for me to lie about it. Ta-da!
I mean, that is an option.
Yeah. Not the best of options, but it's an option.
Well,
I need to learn to do that because
have you been drinking? Only a little. See what I mean? Things work out for you better.
you can't lie near your Canadian.
Yeah.
Well, there's that, but I need to learn how to do it more because apparently I own up to my shit far too much and get in trouble. And people always ask me, well, why do you admit to doing stuff? Because I value truth.
There's also the sense that I can remember it when I said it if I tell you the truth.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about getting your stories straight.
Yeah,
See,
my memory is shit, so I tell the truth, so I don't have to remember any extra shit.
Yeah, that's true.
I have plausible deniability though because my memory is shit just because of medical stuff.
I'm sorry, I can't remember what we were talking about.
What?
Shit.
We were talking?
Who am I and where am I right now?
I haven't even fucking
Who are you
started
people?
smoking this thing
Whose
yet.
house
What
is
the
this?
hell?
And is that my beautiful wife?
How did I get here?
Where are you? When are you?
For some reason.
Same as it ever was.
Same as it ever was. When the days
That's right. We're old as shit, all of us. Let's throw of you.
So you got to be careful not to sing that song, or I'll get a fucking copyright strike.
Yeah, don't get
I wasn't the one singing it. Don't talk to me like that.
Depends on how well you sing.
I know.
What song are you talking about? Sing a bit
That's
of it.
for you, YouTube.
Fucking Ollie.
Wait, what?
What? You can't hear me? Let me turn up the volume a little bit.
Want to see my tribute to an 80-year-old dead drummer?
Oh, Charlie Watts.
Wait. Why did you just give him a finger?
Because he used to do it at the end of every act.
Act. That's true. I completely forgot about that.
That's all right. I'm not holding you responsible things just because I remember them.
Okay, good.
Like World War II.
You remember World War II?
All of it.
Every single bit.
History Channel used to talk about history when I was a kid.
Not just a kid.
When I was in my 30s.
Somebody actually put that to the test and went back and looked through the programming of the History Channel, and that's actually not true. They had just as many bullshit pseudoscience asshat, complete ancient alien.
Okay,
shit.
I don't know how old this person was or how far they went back, but no, it used to be the World War II channel. It was literally the joke was it's a Hitler channel.
And they went back and
they
went
wouldn't have
all
a
the way
hard
into
time.
the 90s.
You'd think they wouldn't have a hard time coming up with new material because we just keep making more history.
Right, exactly. But no, they got tired of it and they decided we were going to talk about aliens and some other.
They've always been talking
Hey, is
about
that where that wacky guy who was saying it's not, or not saying
Yep.
it's alien? That's where the okay.
Yeah.
That's where it's from.
Before that, it was called In Search of History, and it was narrated by Leonard Nimoy, and they went through the
And
exact
that wasn't the
same shit.
History Channel program. That was
Yes, it was.
no, it wasn't History Channel. It was before cable.
Oh, In Search of? Oh, Nimoy's been.
Yeah, In Search of was
70s.
predates cable.
It was the 70s when that came out.
Yeah.
Well, then it was syndicated
no
on
wonder
the
I've
History
never
Channel.
heard
and
Agreed.
recorded.
In Search of.
This
Noah's
is
Ark.
where
In
what you
Search of,
know is
Alien
true
Design.
and is true versus what I know is true and is also true.
And that's the truth.
BC before cable.
You can't handle the truth.
I like that.
Actually,
I don't think
I
I've
like
seen
that.
your guy in the chat before.
Yeah,
so
I like that better.
before
1970, what was that? 1978-ish, 75. I actually studied this shit. I ought to know the answer to that question. I don't, by the way. Don't wait for it. I don't know it.
Okay, we're not waiting for it. Don't worry.
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm reading Wikipedia on In Search Of.
Oh yeah.
Great series. It's entertaining as fuck.
I do love the fact that it was Leonard Nimoy, Mitch Pileggi, and then Zachary Quinto.
Yeah, it's some bullshit, but it's entertaining because it's fucking. It's Leonard Nimoy. How many? There are like 3 voices cooler than Leonard Nimoy's.
Well, one of those has to be James Earl Jones. I'm
That's
sure another is
number
Samuel
one.
L. Jackson, and I'm suspecting that. Why am I blanking on his name? He was in Robin Hood.
Morgan
Prince of
Freeman.
Thieves. Thank you, Morgan Freeman.
Yeah,
he's got a memorable voice. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It was the longest night of his life.
Of course, I'm surprised Bobcat Goldthwait didn't make the list.
Yeah, he's number 6.
Number 6.
6th best.
Oh, I see. Huh? Nimoy and Shatner did their best work in the Man from U.N.C.L.E. episode from 1960.
Shatner did his best work in the early 90s when there was a fire at the Universal Studios. He took the hose away from an actual firefighter so that he could have his picture taken, and then ended up on a tabloid in the cover saying Nimoy fights fire and saves United Picture. It was fucking.
So they mixed up Nimoy and Shatner?
That was Shatner.
Yeah, but you said the title said Nimoy. So did it say Nimoy or Shatner?
I'm so confused.
I was like, well, tabloid could have confused me too.
I misspoke. I apologize.
People wonder why I rip on Shatner so much.
Yeah, no, he's a pig.
One of my favorite lines at the roast of William Shatner was the guy pulled out a paper bag and said, "Hey, would you try and act your way out of this?" It was so fucking good.
Oh, that is cold-blooded.
No, I have legit hated Shatner because I was living in LA when that happened, and I heard all the rumors from all the people in the neighborhood, like, this is a thing that fucking happened. Like, oh my god, what a fucking dickhead.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
That's like some Donald Trump level shit.
It's about the same time that I heard about Cosby, now that I mention it. Like 1993, something like that.
Yeah,
that when Kevin Spacey was getting his start too.
That's true.
He kind of shat all over my childhood, didn't he?
It was a comedian named Lord Corrett was the one that shined me onto that fucking stage. That the guy that whose 1968 through 71 albums I had completely memorized turned out to be kind of a drug addicted, sex addict, rapist asshole.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
With a wife.
Oh, by the way, it's now
clueless.
demonetized for sure.
Why is that?
Well,
what?
Never mind. If you didn't get it, it's not funny.
I wasn't paying attention to this. That's why.
Oh, well,
I was looking at something that I got here. So
I'm pretty sure that the word rape triggers the algorithm, no matter what you mean by it.
True.
Yeah.
And like I'm sure I've mentioned it before, but I have a bit of a New England accent, and so like my T's come out as glottal stops, and so when I said to rate and describe and subscribe, they got their subtitles quite wrong. So,
for the person talking about the flag, that's also the Batman Metropolis flag.
What?
Today I learned.
The Indiana flag?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Not the one from the comic book. The one from the
Christopher Nolan.
No, it was early. Michael
Keaton.
Yes, Michael Keaton Batman. It was the Indiana State flags was the Metropolis city flag. Might be the coolest thing about Indiana, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know. Parks and Rec takes place there.
Yeah, well, that again, not cool. Funny.
Southern Indiana is not a
cool.
place you want to go to if your skin tone is not as white as mine.
Yeah, you gotta be at least as white as me to get away with. I was having this conversation with some neighbors earlier that I get called a 2-syllable word out front because I have a flag that has pretty colors on it. I'm not that thing, but I get called that a lot, which is
a bundle of sticks.
Yes, and it's funny because I'm old, went to IU, and my Kinsey score is a 0.3, and for people to call me that as I sit on my porch drinking beer is just really fucking funny because I have hundreds of friends that are way further up the scale than me, and one of my friends is a 9.7, and I didn't even think he was the gayest friend that I had. But I get shit from people passing by my house because I have pretty flowers out front, and I have a flag that suggests that nobody should be afraid to walk up to my house.
Right. Well, I got something interesting in the mail the other day. I don't know if Randolph, if you did too, because I assume it went around all over the place. But you may or may not have gotten it. I'm not sure. It's like this one here.
That is a true dichotomy. He may or may not have gotten it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it so far. But they're
It's a little Schrodinger, isn't it?
using the same font for the word Canada that I used on the Lumber Cartel website many years ago. I recognize that. That's interesting.
Okay. But
Canada or is it Canada?
I got something interesting in the mail too. My proof of my 2 COVID shots.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, congratulations.
I realized tonight that
you're fully vaccinated.
I've been carrying my I'm a vaccinated motherfucker card.
No, they only gave me a card for my first shot, and I was very annoyed. But they give out those like QR code things as well, so I have a record on my phone.
So did you see the person that's actually trying to enter or is fabricating lot numbers and then fabricating the cards? So the question is, anymore these days, are immunized people actually dying from COVID, or are these the people that have gotten fake cards and show up in the hospital records as being vaccinated? But
I think they're counting on the testimony of the patient rather than the legitimacy of their documentation.
When I went in for surgery, they made me carry my card.
Yeah,
I believe that. I'm just saying that they would have believed because you had the card as backup. If you'd have said I'm inoculated and then you didn't have a card, or you had said something else that would suggest otherwise, it's not like they were counting on that and only relying upon it as safety for the entirety of the hospital. But I see your point. It's a valid one. I went to I went to college with one of the Mellon kids, the really rich family, and that kid stole the backdrop, the lamination machine, and the blanks to make Indiana University student ID cards. And he would make phone calls to students and ask them for their social security numbers, and then put those on fake cards. And he sold them for $1,500 a pop. The richest fucking kid in school was selling fake IDs that you couldn't. There was no way around them. They were absolutely perfect fake IDs. You could get a driver's license. You could probably get into the military with them. They were so fucking good.
Wow.
But the richest fucking kid in school is doing this shit.
That's
yeah, that's par for the course.
Weirdly,
what nationality was that kid? I might know him.
Bet you that guy was taught that by his parents, like that mindset, that attitude.
You might appreciate the fact that I had his room broken into and that shit stolen from it during Christmas.
Okay,
What did you do with the stolen goods?
Well,
he's not going to tell you.
No, it was returned to the university anonymously. It came from the fucking bursar's office. I mean, he had all of the actual shit.
Jesus.
Many years ago, I worked on a case for a law firm. I had to go in to take a look at some kid's computer, and I found an accordion file that had different stages of fake IDs, driver's licenses, and then there were a few military IDs in there too. And they had Canada and the US mainly, and they had other countries around the world. And I estimate this kid was pulling in maybe 20 to 35 grand a month doing this in US dollars.
Yeah, the investigation into the lady making
what happened is it got escalated to, because there were military IDs, it got escalated into Department of Defense jurisdiction. So they don't differentiate there between age of majority or not. If you're a threat to national defense, you're a threat to national defense, and they deal with it on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, apparently the FBI is going after the girl that's making COVID cards because she's making $15,000 a week doing this.
IRS is probably pretty
I
big.
need a way to make that kind of money legit.
Right. Like that'd
be nice.
That'd be phenomenal.
Yeah. I heard some weird report about a nun who was injecting people with saline and telling them it was the vaccine.
At least it was saline.
That was a nurse. That was a nurse who was an anti-vaxxer who was basically lying to people about inoculating them.
Well, I think it might have been a nun
How do they get away
working
with
at
that?
a clinic. I seem to remember it was a nun.
That's actually a human rights violation, what that nurse did.
Yep.
She has since been arrested and under the federal crime and is in federal prison, like Leavenworth, awaiting trial.
That's a good start.
Yeah.
Can't imagine she'll spend any time out
now
of
what I
bars
want to
after
know,
that.
Right.
what I'd really like to know is, have any of the people that she gave those injections to
They have all
caught
been tracked
COVID
down.
and died?
No.
Right? If any, no, because
answer is
if they
no,
had,
they've all
then she
been-
should be up for manslaughter charges too,
Yeah,
right?
that was actually
Or
discussed in the
premeditated
article.
manslaughter.
That was discussed in the article, but all the people that were given shots by her have been contacted and have since been inoculated.
That's good.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, good.
That would be a hell of a
manslaughter
med mal case. That would be hell. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, she tried to have people die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was on purpose. Like,
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, I'm not even sure
Purple-
attempted manslaughter fits because she literally tried to have people die. So it's
Yeah.
attempted
Yeah.
murder at that point.
Purple knows the one I'm talking
And
about.
it's extraordinarily
8,500
dickish.
people.
Oh my god.
Hang on, I'm
is,
going to send a link to Sinister
Anti-vaxxers
Porpoise.
are nasty.
Porpoise.
So I just ran across a Chinese restaurant called Walk and Roll.
Ah!
I'm like, that's the kind of joke I would have come up with, but it's also the kind I'd groan and roll my eyes at.
Those are the best ones.
Well,
So can I somehow, I don't know how you guys did it to me, but you derailed my thing that I was talking about earlier.
Oh no.
About
What? You were
this.
okay.
Oh yes.
what is that for those of us who
What
don't
is
live
that?
in Canada?
In Canada, this
male.
comes out. It's male, okay, but it's gospel stuff, right? There's a church that puts these things out. Remember when I had that little book and I said, "Oh, hey, look, guys, I took out all the bad stuff of the Bible and it's now this thick."
Oh yeah.
So it was the same idea. They sent that one too, but this now has the claims that there's a fourth verse to "O Canada." They're making this
What?
claim. It says the fourth verse of "O Canada" says, "Ruler supreme, who hearest humble prayer, hold our dominion in thy loving care. Help us to find, O God, in thee a lasting rich reward, as waiting for the better day. We ever stand on guard. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee," which does not exist.
First of all, I feel like
They're
this
making
is
stuff
jealousy because the United States, what we consider to be our national anthem, has 4 verses, and 3 of them are racist as fuck.
Yes, they are.
Well, not to mention all the rockets and bombs.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, that too.
yeah. It's part of it's
Here, Porpoise,
yeah,
I sent you a
the
link.
part we're okay with seems to be an acid trip, but the part that we're not going to go ahead and sing is the really fucking racist shit that comes after the first part.
Have you heard the apologists come out in defense of verses 2 through 4. Like, oh no, they're talking about British impressment, not slavery in the United States, and all these excuses that they give.
As a musician, I'm not willing to listen to anybody even defend the fucking music to that song, let alone the fucking words.
Wasn't it a drinking song?
Yes, it was an English drinking song from like 400 fucking years before that. Yeah. And it's shite. It's horrible to play. It's impossible to sing. And it's just straight horrible.
Yeah. Well, so many national anthems sound to me like they're funeral dirges. There are very few happy national anthems. Like I found a really cool cover of Australia's, and that's the only one I could find that I liked.
I think I've heard that one.
Canada is about being happy to be about Canada.
We're not so proud about being Canada.
Yeah, it's got a God thing in it, though. It's not less stupid. It's just prettier.
Just FYI, I mean, I'm fine with being Canadian, but there's some shit that has happened that has recently come out, as you all are aware of. Yeah. That our government and the fucking Catholic Church are responsible for.
Yep. Well, the thing is,
makes me kind of a little bit, fucked up to be, like, come on. And all this stuff literally was kept from people for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't change the past, but we can make things better going forward. At least most people want that. So I think it's still good. It's very sad that these things happen. And I think when you look at every country, you can see it. I know Ireland has the same problem.
They found them everywhere.
Yeah, Australia did it. Canada did it. The United States did it.
The United States does it.
Most are Catholic. Some of them are other kinds of Christianity. But it seems that religion is always involved with these boarding schools or these residential schools.
The Protestants in the United States were much worse than the Catholic Church ever was. Because Protestantism was pretty much the flavor that was allowed here, versus Canada was where the Catholics escaped to get out of England.
I heard some Muslim apologist excuse saying that, they should have let the Muslims run it, then it wouldn't have been a problem. Yeah, right.
Problem solved.
Different problem. Oh.
Anyway,
guys, I'm going to call it a night, guys. You guys have a good one.
Why? It's already called a night.
Yeah. I was up early this morning playing disc golf, and I never had a nap this afternoon, so I'm kind of
That's the most on-brand thing I've ever heard you say.
Oh, dude. Yeah, totally.
You're outside?
Yes. Go outside.
Yeah, outside's great.
Outside is awesome.
Today. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Yep. All right. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.
Good night.
I used to play Ultimate. That was fun.
Ultimate Frisbee is fun. That was awesome.
I had this really cool like hook shot thing where I could just send it all the way downfield, and I knew just how much to throw it to hit the guy who was downfield. Like, I knew exactly how much to lead my target. Something just instinctual, and I loved it. Because I'm awesome, you see.
It was the favorite college game when we played intramurals was Ultimate Frisbee.
That's unsurprising.
Back before the dark times.
Intramurals has got almost nothing to do with this story, but it's all about me bragging about maybe the one. Okay, there are two things in my sport history that are worth even mentioning, and one of them is in high school. One of my gym teachers was an Olympic athlete. He was an Olympic badminton player.
That's cool.
That's an Olympic sport. I had no idea.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So,
cool.
Because he was an Olympic badminton player, we had on our gym floor, we had 6 badminton courts laid out and little holes in the floor, in the basketball floor, for the poles to go in, so we could play badminton. Their volleyball was on the same fucking thing, but badminton it was awesome. Anyway, I won the badminton tournament for my class and gym class as a sophomore in high school, and for winning that, I got to stay after into the next period so that the teacher and I could play, I beat him 2 out of 3 games.
Nice. Very
So
nice.
one thing I am curious about, what is a Minton and why is it so terrible?
It's my ex-brother-in-law's last name, so...
Well,
No, really, though, I actually do genuinely wonder about the origin of that name. It's probably like in a foreign language or something. I don't know.
Pretty sure, it's probably Bedmint rather than Inton.
Huh.
Badminton? It's just the name of
I
the
don't know.
sport.
I'm guessing it's either old German or really old English.
Well, and the less said about shuttlecock, the better.
Yeah, well, that's at least shuttlecock. I think shuttlecock says it's about a bird that goes back and forth, which kind of makes sense considering the thing.
Okay, but I'm a child, and I thought it was funny to make. Never mind. I'll just.
Oh, what's funny to me is that I watch YouTube videos where they bleep out the word cockpit. It's
what?
Yeah, you
Get
can't say
out.
cockpit. It's pit.
So Rooster Teeth would just be bleep bite, cockbite.
Yeah.
Well, no, Rooster Teeth is still Rooster Teeth.
Yeah, but they call it. They
All my Mintons are good.
first season Red versus Blue, they called each other cockbite because Rooster Teeth cockbite.
Yeah, they might very well have done that. I doubt it. I mean, it's fucking Rooster Teeth. But then again,
No. I'm talking about like they used cockbite as an insult in the first season of.
yeah, no, I mean that's what I'm saying. I don't think they would have gone back and bleeped that out just because other channels have chosen to.
I
because they're fucking Rooster Teeth.
Yeah, that's.
I've heard some.
I mean,
like,
they
shows
employed
and
Ryan
channels-
for a number of years.
Well, I've heard some shows and channels where like someone will say
How much I hate
asshole.
Ryan.
And now that you can say ass on like television, they're bleeping hole.
Really?
Yeah, I remember when they sort of.
it's-
I mean, I remember when it was the
Well,
other
you
way
can say
around. I
shit
don't
on
know when they
TV now.
started. Yeah, South Park started that.
I can remember the first time I heard farts when they played Blazing Saddles on network TV. It was like mid '90s. You heard the actual farts in the fart scene.
Oh my god, that's probably when I first watched that movie. Was mid-90s.
Yeah, it was made in like '77.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the gigantic fuss that was made over Psycho because they showed a toilet flushing?
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was about the
first
drain in the
time
shower.
anyone even like really saw a toilet in the movies.
Wasn't it a
Like,
cartoon?
I mean, that's one thing I hate about this country is like everyone is so afraid to admit that we're biological beings.
Which was the first show
bodily functions
to-
are fucking horrible.
Which was the first show to show the married couple in the same bed?
That would be the Brady Bunch.
Yeah. And
The
I Love
Flintstones
Lucy
was the
was the
first
first
one
one. I Love Lucy was the first one to be all like, because they couldn't say whenever Lucille Ball got pregnant, they couldn't say that she was pregnant on TV, so they had to. I don't know the Spanish word for pregnant, but they had to say it in Spanish.
Yeah. Did you hear how much money Lucille Ball got paid extra to not ever talk about it? Like that their child's entire college was paid for by what they had to pay her just to not say what she wanted to say on her own fucking show.
Damn.
Because she was willing to say, okay, fine, you don't want me to say this shit, you're going to pay me to not say it. Because
Yeah.
the woman was fucking brilliant.
Yeah, she was.
Fun fact. and
She
not
also
so-
was producing. She and her husband were producing for Star Trek, the original series, right?
Yeah, the first
Yeah.
season anyway.
Yeah.
The Flintstones were also the first television show to
Desi
show the
Lou.
couple together in the same bedroom. Also, this is not a maple leaf; it's a sycamore leaf.
I wasn't worried. Not red.
Very important to make that distinction.
Not so fun fact, but the thing that almost killed me is what killed Lucille Ball.
Aw.
Extra
Did you write it
fact,
too?
sycamore's a maple tree.
It's Indiana State Sycamores.
Yeah,
Ah.
She's a fan of the hick from French Lick.
Sycamore is a type of maple.
And I can show you a picture of my father-in-law dunking on Larry Bird in college.
No, actually, no, I'm not.
You want to show me somebody dunking on Larry Bird's brother? Now you got my money.
Or his
Larry Bird's brother special in some fashion?
He's Larry Bird's fucking brother.
And that's it?
That's it.
Like he's not famous in any fashion.
That means the chances of you having footage of that happening are way slimmer than the other.
Well, yeah, but for a different reason.
My
Well, yeah. Well, same reason, only the other way.
So, you were talking about like Lucille Ball, and that reminded me. For some reason, that reminded me of Johnny Carson.
Well,
and then that reminded me of the fact that my stats professor was all like, "Oh yeah, I'm from the same town as Johnny Carson," and I was like, "How do I know that this is Norfolk?" I was like, "How do I know this?" Because
I always thought he was from Columbus.
No, they have this. They have the "Here's Johnny" sign in Norfolk, don't they?
Yeah.
I have
but it's Norfolk.
Yeah, it's Norfolk. Yeah.
In my life, I have lived in the same neighborhood that David Letterman grew up in, and the neighborhood that Steve Martin grew up in.
Oh, nice.
Well, apparently
One of them
Cyndi
was
Lauper
decidedly
used.
better than the other, but neither of them were good.
Well, Cyndi Lauper used to live in my neighborhood, like just before my parents and I moved in. She moved out, and our next door neighbors still know her. And she came back to look at the old neighborhood one day. Unfortunately, I had already moved to Seattle, and so our neighbors came out and just greeted her like old friends. And my parents got to meet her. It was kind of neat.
That's neat. Yeah,
that's
very neat.
I live in the city that gets destroyed by a cheese mold plot. At the end of Dead Man Don't Wear Plaid.
Oh.
I can stop the video footage long enough to pick out my house in the OJ chase up the 22 freeway past Garden Grove, California.
Nice. Nice.
That my house was so good that it was that close to the freeway.
But was your town's most famous resident an Italian chef?
Indiana had the shortest-lived president in the United States history.
Oh, William Henry Harrison.
He died in 30
They named
days.
a fort after him.
Because he didn't wear a coat at his inauguration. So
Yeah, he died of pneumonia.
Yeah.
What a brave little fucking Trumpite he turned into be.
I only knew that because of Parks and Rec.
He has
Not
a
even
star
gonna lie.
here.
Yeah, I only knew that because of Animaniacs.
He has a star here.
Indiana has had some great and noteworthy presidential things, and none of them are particularly good. I mean, we had Dan Quayle.
Yeah.
Well, we also had the only candidate to run from.
Or wait, actually, it might be The Simpsons. I forget.
With Mike
it's the
Pence.
Simpsons. Run for office.
Predicts everything.
Run for office from prison.
Oh, wow.
Indiana was also.
Cool.
Indiana is so Republican. This is true. Indiana is so Republican that the last two utopian societies in the United States were both in Indiana.
New Harmony and what's the other one?
I can't remember. I honestly can't remember. New Harmony's the only one I can remember too.
Because the New Harmony experiment is one of the most well-known.
New
failures.
Harmony still exists as a town name. The other one doesn't.
But it's one of the most famous failures due to several factors.
They starved to death like communists.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, they starved to death because they didn't bring anybody that knew how to farm.
Well, they wouldn't even buy from area farms that had food because.
Yeah.
I think you're wrong about the William Henry Harrison who lived in Indiana, though. I don't think he was president because he's got a little star here, and if you go down like the main street, there's like a Hollywood star thing. Like, for local citizens, not far from our Larry Bird statue, because that's important.
It is.
Well, I was
Fort Harrison is a semi-abandoned property on the south side of Indianapolis.
Well, I was raised in Vermont, where Joseph Smith was from. Right? So every now and then, when I go back there, there's a sign there's a sign for his birthplace. Like, I guess people go there to have a look-see. I don't know.
I mean, I drove through Salt Lake whenever I was driving up to Oregon, and I was very tempted to stop at the temple, like the Mormon temple.
It's an amazing building.
That's what I've heard.
Structurally. Like architecturally, it is an amazing building. And if you go into the place that you're allowed to go into as a non-Mormon, the acoustics of that place where the Mormon Tabernacle Choir performs, you can drop they do a demonstration of where they drop a pin on one side and you can hear it perfectly clear on the other side.
Yeah, but I've done the Mormon thing. I've been there, done that. Didn't get the funny underwear. It's just not worth it.
I know I say this every time, but one thing I can't fault the Mormons for is Battlestar Galactica.
It's true.
Here's the thing that I have learned is true about where I live. I live in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Fort Wayne, Indiana is named after General Mad Anthony Wayne. There's a Fort Wayne, Michigan, and there's a Wayne County, Ohio, which is, I think, adjacent to Indiana, which I think is one of the largest counties in Ohio. So this guy is obviously important. And I can remember when I was a kid, and I'm too lazy to go to a fucking library to actually confirm this, but I do know the second part. I do know the second part of the story is that what I was able to find in libraries and in books is not something I'm able to find online. And what I mean is the man's nickname was Mad Anthony Wayne. When I was able to research this shit in books, he was called that because he had been driven insane by the fact that he had an affinity for wearing brand new hats. Brand new hats were saturated in mercury in order to make them stiff. So he had gone fucking batshit crazy and turned into a bit of a fucking psychopath who killed a bunch of people for no fucking reason except to edify his fucking addled mind.
That's also where the expression "mad as a hatter" comes from.
Exactly. But if you search the history of that nickname right now, you'll find virtually nothing, or at least I can't, from here.
I just have one question, and I think a lot of us are thinking this. You said you couldn't go to a library, but we have this thing now called...
No, I said I was too lazy to go to a library.
Okay.
All right, but if you're too lazy to go to a library, have you heard of this wonderful thing called the internet and search engines?
Yeah, that's why I said when I searched that,
can't find it.
When I searched the history of his nickname, I'm not able to find the things that I am able to find if I'm willing to go 16 blocks northwest of here to the fucking library.
Yeah,
the same building where I found that shit in the first place. I'm just saying that I can't find it online. I can find it IRL.
Use the
it's in print. I can still read it. It's there to be read. It's not here to be read. For me, at least.
I still say your Google foo may be weak.
Yep.
Sometimes it's hard to find things on Google unless you manipulate the search terms.
That's true. You gotta know your Boolean terms.
And it's a giant pain in the ass when someone's named something the same as what you're searching for.
That's why I say
there's this online game that I play called Spark.
I'm searching from
it's
Fort
also
Wayne, so
like the name of an operating system or something. I don't know. Some company is spelled exactly the same way with a C instead of a K at the end of Spark.
Oh, the Oracle Spark
is assembler language.
Right, but that's the thing is like if I go searching for the VR game, it's really difficult to do because of the people who...
Yeah, I'm not saying there's anything nefarious about the fact that I can't find this shit. I'm just saying that from where I'm sitting and using that search term, I can't find that information.
Actually, I was just bitching about my own problems with that one.
I felt like we could share, but go on.
I was done too.
I apologize to trans streamers everywhere for not wearing cat ear headphones. I know it's required by law.
I almost got some cat ear headphones before I bought these. Not even gonna lie to you.
I actually bought some earbuds that are attached to elf ears that go around on your... Oh, I wore that around and people were sort of really trying hard not to look at me.
But usually the hats I wear aren't of this type.
What type of hats do you usually wear?
I have... Don't make me pull them out.
Okay.
I decided to use my mom's quilt, the Indiana flag, and a smiley face.
Does it have a drop of blood on it? Like
Why? What have you heard?
I don't think
Like
he's going to get
Watchmen.
that reference.
I do, but
What? I've also got that thing staring at me most of the time.
The giraffe.
giraffe.
It's probably keeping an eye on the dolphin behind me.
It's just weird.
It's just hard to tell against that background. It's really colorful.
It's all over the place, is what it is.
So free.
All right.
Yeah. I dig it. I dig it.
I just made myself hurt.
Oh no.
Right there, Artie.
Yeah, I'll probably lose a pound or two to the foot. Just working up some phlegm.
Great, wonderful.
Phlegm.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'm a little phlegm-clamped.
Yeah, I'm German, so it's phlegm.
Phlegm clamped.
Yeah, my mom's side of the family is like culturally Jewish, so I got a lot of the Yiddish from them, and yeah, verklempt.
I just really like saying chutzpah.
Mm.
Like I love. I don't know why that's like one of my favorite words to say.
It's a good one.
It's a very good one.
You heard Shana Punim?
Mm-mm.
Never heard Shana Punim?
I like challah bread.
I read a book called Kvetching. It's all about complaining.
Yeah. Bitching, fetching.
Have you read the book? Do you know the one I'm talking about?
I know the book. I have not read it.
It's very funny, and I'm what I know about the book is that my Jewish friends thought it was funnier than I did, which means that I lost a lot in translation because he tells a lot of the jokes in Yiddish and then translates them, and then kind of makes fun of why it's funny. Yeah. But he does that as a Jew who speaks Yiddish, and it just kind of gets lost a lot of it.
Yeah.
But the half of it that I fucking understood is fucking hysterical.
Well, I mean, the folks in my family, they all spoke English. It was just the Yiddish slang got peppered in a lot.
Oh, yeah.
There's a Jewish community center in Vancouver, here, BC, Canada, called Lubavitch Center. Lubavitch always sounds like something right out of the Jetsons to me.
It's Lubavitch, by the way.
Oh, Lubavitch. Okay. I said it wrong.
I was given the book as a gift after I had said that I had read both of the Murphy's Pub books. Have any of you read either of those?
No.
It's a guy named Murphy who goes to Ireland and tracks down both his lineage as an exercise in his lineage and as an exercise in visiting pubs. It's
okay.
It's not fascinating, but it's great travel porn. He's an excellent. He's very engaging. The stories are all funny. You learn about his family history, but it's really about the pubs and what Murphy clan, what part of the Murphy clan lives there and owns that pub, and where his name fits into their version of the Murphy history. It's a fascinating fucking series, but it really is about this guy just using the excuse of writing a book to go to a bunch of pubs in Ireland called Murphy's and getting shit-faced.
Right.
Did they talk about RoboCop at all?
I'm not sure it comes up more than once, but I think it might come up at least once.
Okay.
Without making the next obvious joke, what does visiting pubs have to do with tracing down your ancestry?
In Ireland,
it's because of the sheer number. It's because of the sheer number of places called Murphy's Pub in Ireland.
Or is that something I would have missed out on being an ex-Mormon?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably.
I'm German. I don't own cats.
In Ireland, the pub is where everybody got together after church, after work, after everything. So if you want to know anything about the goings-on, that's where you went. And so if you wanted to know, and one member of your family usually owned a pub. So if you want to know the lineage in Ireland, and the Irish are very good about the genealogy.
Yeah,
the reason is because they all own pubs. And
they're a little anal about it, in fact.
Yeah, they're almost as anal
you
about
want
it as
anal
Mormons.
about genealogy? Talk to an Italian.
Well, I was gonna say Scots, because if you're wearing the wrong fucking quilt, are kilt, you might get your ass beat.
Well, then a lot of Irish were exiled from Scotland, like my family was, because we hated the food so much in Scotland that we actually thought Ireland was an upgrade.
Okay, Randy, I'm not going to ask anything about that, but you have yourself a good night.
Yeah, not touching that one. But
That's
doesn't mean we don't care. It just means
we don't want to know.
We're not going to ask.
We don't need the details.
So, Porpoise, have you seen this stuff that the Mormon Church has with the genealogy that they track?
Yeah, they're almost as anal as the Irish.
Yeah,
I've not seen that. I've not even heard of that. Which now I'm fucking curious as shit.
Yeah, Porpoise can probably like expound on it more than I can because I don't know a ton. I know it exists, but I don't know a ton.
The genealogy was always kind of weird to me because I grew up in Pennsylvania, and I think the Mormons have like this weird kind of ancestor worship thing going on with like the people who went out to Utah. It's like I've done things like I've gone to. They used to have something called the Hill Cumorah pageant where they would.
You did that? Sorry, I listened to How to Heretic. And there are a bunch of ex-Mormons, so I hear about all of this stuff. Oh my god, sorry.
I read Under the Banner of Heaven. That's my fucking connection.
It was an awesome show, but I guess the problem is it started to be a recruitment tool to draw people away from the church. So they stopped it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like it was written by Orson Scott Card. It was basically the Book of Mormon, the actual Book of Mormon, not the more entertaining Trey Parker musical on stage, outdoors. But as far as the genealogy goes, yeah, it's also they can track down people and you submit their names into some sort of like daily database or something.
Right.
And then someone goes in, gets the name, and gets baptized by proxy for some dead person.
Right.
This has caused some problems with Jewish groups.
Right.
Because they were baptizing dead Holocaust victims who didn't leave any descendants.
I heard about that.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. LDS Church is doing
kidding
that.
me?
No, I'm not.
I grew up around Amish. My connection to Mormonism is the making the false equation of them being even in any way similar.
Where did you grow up?
Fucking not.
Equation.
But I spent a lot of time
algebra,
around. I spent a lot of time around the Amish who are absolutely devout, and I can't help but respect the fact that they have, that especially around here because they're a little more conservative than they are in most parts of the world, where they still shun. You're not allowed to hook up to electricity, but now apparently you're allowed to have solar and wind because you can't buy it from the English, which is the commitment that the English, everyone outside of the Amish are the English, and all of us are going to hell because we're not Amish.
Hold on, pronounce it right. English.
Yeah.
Neil, who was the gentleman you had on with the furniture that still did the furniture, the woodworking? Stuff? Yeah, who was that gentleman? What was his name again?
Brain farting.
Oh, yeah, I think I bookmarked his thing.
Yeah, he was the ex-Amish guy.
And he divulged a lot about Amish stuff, and I was just like, man, you are a far stronger person than I am. That guy was rad.
So
sudden weird thought question. Like, if the root of Jewish is Jew, is the root of Amish Like, where does that come from? What's the root of Amish?
Well, they're very resistant to
any root of blemish.
Yeah, it's really old German, and I can't remember what it means, but it's something about purity.
But it is the syllable
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's just okay.
You can make
I was kind of hoping there would be more to it than that.
Well,
like, how they take people from Czechoslovakia and call them Slovaks or whatever. I was hoping Amish was short for something.
Well,
sadly no.
They're called Czechoslovakia anymore.
Yeah, they're northwestern German-ish air part of the planet. They're kind of where the Jesus Christ.
Because I thought they were southern German and northern Swiss.
I think they were what was left behind when the Engels largely migrated to the island.
Before we get too carried away here, guys, I got to call it a night. So.
Oh, you bastard, you.
You have good timing because Nathaniel's going to get home here soon.
I'm going to be working here for a couple more hours. It's this site is massive. It's 65,000 square feet.
Jeez.
Yeah, we've been doing wiring all day to make sure the whole place is connected. Internet. Lots of fun.
Well, I haven't eaten yet, and I have to get up early to go see my mom tomorrow. So,
well, then how's she doing, by the way?
She's getting better. She's no longer in the wheelchair.
Good.
Excellent.
She's back on a walker, but I still her balance and everything is done. She can't.
Oh.
Even with a walker, she still stumbles and falls, and I got to catch her like all the time.
Yeah.
So getting her in and out of the car is a bit of a chore, but I take her out for coffee and stuff like that, and we sit around for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and just catch up and whatnot. But that's it's the highlight of my week to hang out with her while she's
Mine is what sounds good to eat. What will Dad eat, and what will you eat a lot of? Okay, I'm bringing that.
Yeah, well, she just wants to get out and go do some shopping and have her chai tea latte.
Yeah, right. I want to throw calories down their throat.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll figure it out. It's ever since her boyfriend passed away, she's just been on a downhill slide.
Mm-hmm.
So,
my love to your mom.
Yeah.
I'll let her know.
Likewise.
But anyway,
tell her the guy with the giraffe sends his love.
Yeah.
You have no idea how hard it is to hold back a thoughts and prayers joke.
T's and P's and all that.
T's and P's.
Yeah.
Canned teas and
I hate peas. But anyway.
Rehydrated peas.
Peas and carrots and peas and peas and carrots. Amen. That's from Cannibal the Musical. That's from Cannibal the Musical.
Susan, you make me laugh.
I try. Thank you.
You've done a hell of a fucking job.
Thank you.
All right, are we still live?
Well, before I close her out, thanks everyone in the chat. Hope you guys had fun hanging out with us. Also, my awesome guest for tonight had to bail for some family issues, but thanks to Damien for being my guest of honor tonight. All the links for where you can find him, and please go sub to his YouTube channel because he's got a lot of his really good podcasts are up there. So head over there, which is linked in the interview, which is linked below, by the way. And my amazing patrons, you guys are really the meat behind all the matter here. So thank you very much for what you guys do.
You're goddamn right we are.
Fucking right. And a quick reminder that Randolph and I will be starting up our own call-in show eventually once the studio's done. Called True North Talk. If you want to learn more about it, head over to www.truenorthtalk.ca, and you can see the link to the YouTube channel there as well, so you can head over and sub so you don't miss the launch of the show. Also, myself and tons of other fantastic people are the new hosts of the revamped, relaunched Nonprofits, which airs at 3 p.m. Central between Talk Heathen Atheist Experience. It is another one of the fantastic ACA products, so head over to that channel, give them a sub if you haven't already. And of course, we didn't do it today, but the last Saturday usually of every month, 2 p.m. Pacific time, Andy and Seamus and myself get together for the Atheist Drinking Out Loud show. And you never know when we're going to come knocking on your door to ask you to, or knocking on your DMs or messengers, come and join us for an episode. Bionic Dance has been one of our guests on the show, which was a lot of fun. So be on the ready. And it's over on the Laughing in Disbelief channel, which is Andy's channel. And Seamus, you guys probably know from the Free Thought Prophets. But yeah. Anyway, thanks everyone for joining me today, guys, and hanging out with myself and the guest of honor tonight.
Thanks,
always
Neil.
a pleasure having you guys in. And Porpoise, next time, let me know earlier that you want to jump in, and I'll send you a link a little earlier.
I just wasn't sure about the etiquette.
Oh, no. If you've been on the show, you're always welcome to the after parties. I've told you that. You're always welcome in. Anyway, everyone, I hope you guys have a great night for the rest of your night. I know Purple usually does his midnight rambling stuff pretty soon.
Yeah, no shit.
Actually, Purple, I think you go by she now. Is that correct? Or they?
Yeah.
I believe so.
It's she.
Purple. I think we're going with purple.
Purple rhymes with orange. Always I thought that's a clever.
She. Thanks, Purple. That's what I thought.
Pronoun.
But, used to the way it's
purple.
Well, yeah, purple pronouns. But yeah, I've just been so used to
Want me to order some pizza?
he before, so What? Pizza?
Sorry, I'm talking to my staff.
I'm willing to commit.
Where are you? I'm coming for the pizza.
Maybe I'll just say, hey, you.
Oh, you only do midnight on Thursdays? Okay, Purple. She doesn't do the midnight every night, so it's only Thursdays. So there you go. But anyways.
So tonight starts tomorrow morning?
Yeah. Artie? Who let Artie in here?
So long, and
I
thanks for
thought
all
we
the
were
fish.
friends.
And Kimmo, that's Star Trek 6.
Artie is complicating things like concerning what's happening 2 days after the day before today.
That is not something that I do.
Actually, Artie's one of the OGs in my shows. So
That's right. That's why I look this old. That's why I look as old as you feel, Richard.
All right, everyone. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you guys next time. And like the late, great Carl Sagan once said, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And thanks for hanging out, guys. We'll see you guys next time.